Let's go!
Woodward Sports Network, let's go!
Let's go!
Let's do
it! Welcome. It is Wednesday on Woodward. It's the Morning Woodward Show. My name is Stick. We got everybody in the house today. To my right...
Yo, what to do? It's Corey.
Corey's doing a master reset on his computer right now. To my left,
Joey, I got no restarts. I'm feeling good. It's Wednesday.
Nice. And over there in producer land, of course, we have Alex, then Fish, making sure we sound good, making sure the audio is right, and Adam's in here, and then Ben is here. It's a party in the studio this morning, man.
Yeah, we got packed in this house.
Yeah, so lots of stuff coming up on today's show. We got to talk about Deshaun Watson some more because more allegations coming out about that. And then we put up a great thing on Twitter yesterday asking you about one Pistons moment that you could change.
I was mad at that, Paul.
So we're going to talk about that around 9 o'clock. Plus, we got our Coney review coming up today. Lots of stuff going on the show, but thank you guys so much for waking up with us, being a part of this, and commenting and liking and sharing. We appreciate you. But let's get into it. Mel Kiper came out with his 3.0 mock draft, guys. And I love these because mock drafts are fun to me. And this one is absolutely bananas. Have you guys?
Every one of these are bananas.
I didn't like any of those picks that he had. Like they didn't. Some of them didn't even make sense to me.
No, and that's what I love about this. And you know what? Like, what's crazy to me is just how stacked it is with skill position players near the top. Like, you know, we haven't really seen this in many years in the NFL.
Not at all. But the four quarterbacks going. I don't want to get too much into it.
See, but that's something, Corey, that I think really is going to happen.
Really?
I don't get it. We had so many good people in our. I want to just go back to our 1.0s. Why can't everybody just use their 1.0s where they weren't influenced by the rest of the world, giving their stupid-ass picks, then convinced to somehow think, oh, you know what? I'm going to switch mine because that actually makes sense.
Well, and that's why we do 2.0s, 3.0s, 5.0s, and at the end of the day, none of them are going to be right. Like, it's, you know, it's kind of just like a bracket. Once one player falls out of place, it destroys every pick after that. So it is really hard to predict these things, but you guys want to get into it?
Dude, that just gave me an idea. Why don't they do, like, the perfect bracket, like the perfect first round?
The perfect projection?
Yeah, why don't they do that?
I don't know. I'm down. That's kind of fun, actually. If you predict every pick in the first round, you get a prize.
That might be something new.
We should do it.
I like that idea.
Sports perfect
prediction.
Perfect prediction. I like that.
Perfect first round prediction.
I like that. Let's do that.
Well, let's start with the number one overall pick. Joey, you do not think this guy's going to go number one, but yet again, in another mock draft, he's sitting there high atop the list. His name is Trevor Lawrence.
Let's fix that. I never said that I don't think he's going to go number one. I just said that I think that he is a little bit overrated in this draft.
Why do you think he's overrated, though?
There's so many factors. Like, if you were listening to Baligian and Bell, I was talking to Baligian and Bischoff, and you look at the quarterback, and I feel like he's always on that one read that he's had, that every time you know where he's going. And that's my issue with him. The guy, he's definitely someone that is a talented player, don't get me wrong.
Right.
But, I mean, overall, you look at some of these other quarterbacks, Zach Wilson, baby.
That's your guy?
No,
that's your guy?
No.
Oh. No, I know you're a big Trevor Lawrence or Justin Fields guy.
Yep.
That's your guy.
Yep.
But Trevor Lawrence going number one. Corey, how you feel about that?
I'm gonna stay consistent. Haven't seen anything from Trevor Lawrence to make me not take him with the number one pick. If I'm running a team and Trevor Lawrence is sitting there at number one and you don't grab him, that is officially your last day as my coach or GM.
And look at the way that offense is shaping up, man.
Yeah.
They got Marvin Jones. They got Laviska Shenault now. They're going to have Trevor Lawrence. You got Darrell Bevel there making the play calls, and then you got Urban Meyer. Like, that offense is – me and Adam were talking about it the other day. All they're really missing is like an elite tight end to be super dangerous.
I'm still laughing at the fact that Marvin Jones left the Lions, said that he wanted to go play for a contender. Everybody, we all thought that he was going to go out there to Los Angeles and follow Matthew Stafford. Now he's with the Jacksonville Jaguars in something that he didn't want to be in, a rebuild.
Yeah, well, sometimes the market doesn't let you do exactly what you want to do, and that's kind of what happened to Marvin Jones there.
But he
at
knew
least he's in
damn
Florida.
well where he was going as a rebuild. Like,
Right.
that is pure rebuild at its finest right there.
At least he's in Jacksonville.
He is in Jacksonville. He's with his old coach. He's familiar with the offense. So, well, I'm assuming they're going to run a similar offense to what they ran here in Detroit. Except with Trevor Lawrence, you got a little bit more weapons than you did mobility-wise with Matthew Stafford.
Oh, most definitely. But I don't know about that one. I don't know if Marvin Jones played his hand correctly in that. But Trevor Lawrence is going to be the number 1 pick. We haven't seen anything from him to drop him down from the number 1 status. Justin Fields might end up being a better quarterback. Heck, Zach Wilson may have all of them have the potential to be better than Trevor Lawrence. But when you're talking about being the number 1 pick, he has not done anything to lose that spot.
He's kind of like a Trey Lance, too. Those both never shy away from the hits. And that's something that when you get to the NFL, you sure as hell better learn to start doing that, because that's how you see these young athletes getting injured, because they were doing it in college.
Right.
Especially at the team that he was at with the best line, best receiver. So it was kind of not easy for him, but he had it pretty set up there in Clemson.
Yeah, and once they go through all the progressions from little league to high school to college, like, it does change. And then when you get to the pros, you better not be taking them hits. Like, that is the main thing that these mobile quarterbacks got to understand. These are grown-ass men that get paid a lot of money to hurt you. I mean, if we think back to the Saints, they put bounties on players. Like, that's how serious this is to these guys. So going into the NFL, completely different story. But Trevor Lawrence, just like he has been on everybody's mock draft, still sitting at number 1. Number 2, the Jets. Who do you guys think the Jets are going to be looking at?
Zach Wilson, I'm guessing.
Zach Wilson is correct.
Yeah, go ahead, have him.
You don't like him there, do you?
It's not that I don't like him, and I don't understand the draft this year at all. Like, I get there's a need for a lot of quarterbacks, but these quarterbacks are coming out of my ass.
They are coming out of nowhere, and that's the crazy part about this, is how all of a sudden all the quarterbacks moved up to the very, very top of the draft. And that's what we're seeing here. We're seeing a run of quarterbacks, but a lot of teams in the NFL need quarterbacks right now.
I do not agree with this pick. I think that Sam Darnold was just, with bad coaching, bad system, just everything around him was just typical Jets. I think Robert Saleh can come in there and he can go ahead and change that landscape. Corey Davis spoke about it. He signed with the Jets, I believe, a 3-year deal, $37.5 million. And here's exactly what Corey Davis said about the quarterback situation. When he signed, he was under the impression that Sam Darnold was going to be the starter. He said, the situation is what it is. Obviously, I'm coming in with the understanding that Sam is the guy. That doesn't scare me away at all. I've seen Sam do great things. I don't know what great things you've seen Sam do. Definitely here
You
nor
saw him
there.
come back against the Lions in his first game. Remember that?
Yeah, I was there for that game.
You were there for that game?
Yeah.
God, man.
Corey's been at all the horrible games.
Yeah, I'm typical Lions.
That was rough. That was rough.
Yeah, but to the point, just because they have Sam Darnold, that doesn't mean the Jets won't take a QB. They can take a QB, and Sam Darnold, Zach Wilson can sit behind Sam Darnold. I just don't think that is the smart move for them to do. I think they have other holes that they should address. They should see what they have with Sam Darnold under the new coaching, and then if it does not work out, probably going to have another high pick again.
Let me ask you this. If the Lions had Sam Darnold right now instead of Jared Goff, would you want them to be taking a quarterback at 7?
I would not want them to take a quarterback at 7.
So you'd still give Sam Darnold some time.
Yeah.
Joey, what do you think?
That's one of those that you haven't really seen it from him.
Right.
So with that being said, this draft, I feel like there are a lot of talented quarterbacks. That's why you're seeing in so many mock drafts, all 4 of the best quarterbacks, and some you might even see Mac Jones pretty high. You see them go in the first 4 picks of the draft. So with that being said, they're up high on this draft board. They either take him or trade that away and get some really strong weapons.
Well, and that's what some people want the Lions to do, is to trade up to get in this quarterback lottery, essentially, is what it's turned into, because you never know who's going to fall to you at 2, 3, or 4. Mel Kiper said, it depends on who you talk to in the NFL. I've changed 6 times when I was doing this, with Fields and Wilson flip-flopping. Wilson had such a great career. Had one guy who said Fields, and then another guy who said Wilson. So it's been a back and forth. And to Joey's point, like, that's been your guy since day one, is Justin Fields. So even when you see a Zach Wilson hopping over him, you're still like, why?
And just like you guys all say for Trevor Lawrence, I haven't seen anything for him to fall down. What have we seen from Zach Wilson to just all of a sudden climb up? Because over a month or 2 ago, none of this was even a thing.
You never even heard of Zach Wilson before.
Literally,
like 3 months ago.
3 months ago, never even heard of Zach Wilson until you and Adam were talking about it.
Right. Yeah, Adam brought it to my attention. So let's move on to number 3. That leaves us with yet another quarterback going. Number 3, now your boy, Joey. Carolina Panthers are saying they're going to move up, trade with Miami to get the number 3 overall pick, and take Justin Fields.
How do you feel about that one?
Carolina needs a quarterback, so whatever they can do, I would suggest they do it, and do it in a hurry. And, that's what I was kind of asking about the Lions. Do you think the Lions should trade up like this to try to go for that franchise quarterback, or sit at 7, or trade down?
I like this pick a lot for the Carolina Panthers. Like you said, they're in desperate need for a quarterback, and just off of how their organization has played their brand of football of the past couple of years, they can get behind Justin Fields. He kind of plays that brand of football. I don't think that the Lions, however, should go ahead and move up at all into that quarterback sweepstakes. I mean, it's so many other areas the Lions got to address, but we'll get to them in a second.
Yeah, I actually like what Mel Kiper said here, and Joey, you'll like this too. I heard the same thing about Josh Allen. I heard the same thing about Justin Herbert. It's the scouts' job to project. So scouts are critiquing Fields about what they say he should be doing, not what he has been doing. And so I actually like that comparing, because last year when Justin Herbert was coming out, like, he was supposed to be the number 2 quarterback right after Burrow. Like, that was the guy. And, Tua was in the mix, but Herbert fell down of those 3 to the bottom 3 because it was, he can't make the big play. He hasn't done it against big teams. And now, once Herbert got his opportunity in the NFL, what do we see?
I wasn't shocked about that. I actually wanted the Lions to trade down. I wanted the Lions to somehow get Herbert, but whatever.
Really?
I really did. It's not even
Now
revisionist history.
Yeah, see, I didn't know enough about him. Like, I kind of went with the scouts on that. I was like, oh, okay, Herbert. Like, if we're going to draft anybody, it's got to be Tua. And I'm actually really glad we didn't get Tua. I don't think Tua's the one. Miami's already considered trading him.
I thought Tua would be cool too. I'm not gonna lie, I would not have been mad if they drafted Tua, but I liked Justin Herbert, because I was like, all right, Tua got the hip injury, Herbert, go ahead and draft him, because I already thought the writing was on the wall for Matthew Stafford, but I knew that the Lions were not going to go ahead and take Herbert because they still had Bob Quinn and Matt Patricia in there, and they were going to draft in their best interest of trying to win now, as opposed to drafting in the franchise's best interest. Because if they were going to draft in the best interest of the franchise, they would have taken Justin Herbert. Yeah,
definitely. And that was the tough part about putting the mandate on them to win now, because then it was like, oh shit, we got to cover our ass. We can't just draft a quarterback for the future because we got to win tomorrow. So let's get our cornerback in after we traded them away. But regardless, we went with Okudah, and it's still yet to be seen what Okudah is going to be. So now we're moving on from Justin Herbert down to number 4, the Atlanta Falcons, selecting Trey Lance, quarterback, North Dakota State. So that is all top 4 picks, quarterbacks, off the list.
And he looks good. That's the thing. It's like, I don't want to hate on him, because I truthfully do think he'll be a pretty good quarterback in the NFL. It's just, if they talk about Herbert and Josh Allen not seeing enough or whatever, what have we really seen from this guy? North Dakota State? I'm not hating on where he went, because I'm sure that's all he was good enough for in high school.
Oh, come on,
but,
man.
I mean, it's the truth. You don't go to North Dakota State as a quarterback. Quarterback is that position that if you're a star quarterback, these elite teams are looking. And I want to see, actually, I'm going to go back and look at his high school offers as to where he had options to go, because maybe he just hit a late growth spurt, because he's a big boy. You look at his build, he is an ideal quarterback with the new style football with running quarterbacks.
And like you hit it, like some of these kids that go to these smaller colleges, they may be young when they graduate high school.
Yep.
And, they may not be fully developed, but once they hit that growth spurt in high school, they just shoot off the charts. Like Dennis Rodman's a prime example. I know I'm going way back, but Dennis Rodman grew like 6 inches over one summer and became an elite basketball player.
Yeah.
And you see that with a lot of kids in football. Like football is a grown man sport. So until you get your grown man body, you're never going to really know how you could compete. I know Speakeasy from, the Speakeasy podcast, and he's on the hook now with, Maz and D-Mac and Pilar from 3 to 5. He loves himself some Trey Lance. Like, he is on the Trey bandwagon.
Well, Trey Lance was not considered a quarterback by a lot of the bigger schools. What I'm reading, Trey Lance got his offers from Air Force, Boise State, Northern Illinois, and Western Michigan. So those were he could have went, but
he could have been a Bronco.
Yeah, that would have been sweet.
But in the end, he committed to North Dakota. Said, "Hey, my frat brother's the quarterback for the Broncos right now, so we good with that. We good with that right now." But
that would have been his competition.
We good. But anyway, Trey Lance, I believe he fits the Atlanta Falcons. I'm not going to say he is on the same level as this guy, but it kind of reminds me of a Mike Vick-esque pick for the Falcons.
I was thinking that.
So he could kind of I could see him coming in there, bringing that kind of swag. He's in Atlanta. To me, it's a great fit for them. They need a quarterback. They need somebody who is going to take the reins of the team when Matt Ryan leaves. Who better to... Outside of that blunder that he had in the Super Bowl with his whole team, Matt Ryan is a good quarterback. I kind of have Matt Ryan in the same boat as Stafford without of course without the postseason success, where it's like the guys have the talent, they just have not been able to reach that pinnacle. So I believe if they draft Trey Lance, he has a good quarterback to sit behind maybe a year and learn from, and then after this season, probably can go ahead and move on from Matt Ryan and let him go elsewhere. I like that pick a lot for the Falcons.
The thing that scares me with a lot of these teams, how would you rank the Falcons' offensive line, for example?
Offensive line? They're mid-pack.
And that's the scary part, because being the best quarterback, and I've said this before, is kind of scary, because I would rather want to be like a Mac Jones, because there's more opportunities for success as long as you land a team that needs a quarterback. But you look at these quarterbacks that are going 1, 2, 3, 4, they're most likely going to a team that's got a shittier line. And that's scary, because somebody like a Trey Lance, or better yet, somebody like Trey Lance is a good example, because he doesn't shy away from those hits. So someone like him, got to worry about injuries with him now.
We saw what happened to Joe Burrow this year, man. That's what happens when you start your rookie quarterback and you need help on the offensive line. You damn near wrecked Joe, not his whole career, but it could have been a career-ending injury. And to throw all of that away just on a season that you're going to only win 5-6 games anyway, even if Joe Burrow plays out of his mind, that, I agree, man. If I'm a top-rated quarterback, of course you always dream of going number 1. But if I'm Mac Jones right now, sitting back like this, all right, I'm going to go to a team that made the playoffs last year. I'm going to go to a team that maybe I sit behind a great quarterback. And, literally, I think the perfect spot for a Mac Jones to wind up would be with Bill Belichick.
Especially once he gets through that rookie contract, all you got to do is play well, fill in and kill it in a couple of games, and then you could get yourself a good deal.
Yeah, the rookie contract's great for 5 years, but I'm just talking Mac Jones in that style of offense. They don't require, they kind of adjusted last year to Cam Newton, making him more of a running quarterback, which was never a part of their game plan when Tom Brady was there. And you could go back to that with Mac Jones, because he's never going to be a mobile guy, ever. But in that system, if he has the arm strength and he has the accuracy and he has the intelligence, which are the intangibles that he's said to have, I wouldn't be surprised if the Patriots pick him up later in the draft. So that was Trey Lance going at number 4 overall. Now is where it starts to get interesting, because we just talked about the Bengals, right? Mm-hmm. And we just talked about how their offensive line is awful. And we just talked about how they have to protect their quarterback. So you'd think they would spend this pick, number 5 overall, on the best offensive line prospect to come out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mel Kiper has them taking Kyle Pitts, tight end, Florida.
It's all athletic players. That's it. They're going up after all the skilled players on the draft board.
Look at this guy running a 4.6 40 at 6'6". The absolute beast.
6'4".
I'm sorry. I like Kyle Pitts. I think he's the best player, and I think he's arguably the best athlete in the draft.
Yeah.
But I hate the pick for the Bengals, just off of what you said. They need to go ahead and get more. They need to get help on the line. But I will say this: I can understand it from the aspect that they did just sign Riley Reef, former Detroit Lion. So, I guess they feel some kind of way about him where they may have went ahead and moved him off of the draft board. Because I'm seeing a few mock drafts that have them moving away from potentially drafting Penei Sewell, because that's where I was thinking they would go.
That's the obvious pick for them, right? That's the clearly obvious pick. But they are the Bengals.
Yeah, so it's weird that he's moved off of their mock drafts, off of many mock drafts after they signed Riley Reef. So I would still draft him, but if they decide to go Kyle Pitts, it's another weapon for Joe Burrow, but they really need to shore up that offensive line to protect the QB. But whatever, it's like you said, it's the Bengals. The Bengals are going to do what the Bengals are going to do.
Yeah, if they do not draft an offensive lineman there, I get it. Pitts is kind of an offensive lineman because you could put him in at tight end and have him block part-time, but he's a skill position guy, man. You need him for explosiveness. And not that they have all the weapons in the world. They did draft T. Higgins last year. They have Joe Mixon coming back off of some health injuries, but him staying healthy is anybody's guess. And then they just got rid of A.J. Green. Tyler Boyd is back. So they have some weapons. I could see them going after a Pitts, but just does not make any sense to me not to protect the franchise quarterback you spent the number 1 overall pick on.
What's crazy when you look at this draft is if you're one of those Lions fans that are thinking to themselves, I really don't want a quarterback this year, this is an amazing draft for us because all of these skilled athletes are just dropping. So you see these quarterbacks that came out of nowhere going 1, 2, 3, 4. Take Mac Jones to make him number 5. Why not?
Right, yeah. Keep pushing down to 7 because that's all you're doing. You're taking the best player available that's not a quarterback, and he's just dropping down. And
we get options. So many different players with the best wide receivers in the country, tight ends like Pitts, and so many skilled athletes like Penei Sewell that we could possibly get. There's a lot of options for us being at number 7.
Yeah, well, we're on to number 6. So the pick right before us, obviously, this was traded away when the Panthers traded, Panthers are choosing behind us. Never mind. Number 6, Jamar Chase, LSU. That's who we got going at number 6. That's the Eagles.
They need weapons.
I
get it. That's just it.
Do you guys have him as your number 1 receiver?
They got a weapon. They just signed Joe Flacco.
Let's predict. Out of all these rookie receivers that are coming in the draft, who do you think is going to perform the best in the NFL?
Chase is filthy.
I'm going to go with the hybrid. I'm going to go Pitts.
You're going to go Pitts? Well, okay.
He's a tight end.
Right.
He's a tight end, but I believe he's going to play more
out
wide
of the traditional wide receiver
Out of
position.
the traditional wide receivers.
You going Waddle, you going Chase, or you going Smith?
You know what? If healthy, I'm going to go Waddle.
Okay.
Ooh.
All right.
If healthy.
I'm glad we all got different ones because I'm going with the Heisman.
Yeah, you're taking Smith?
Devontae Smith, yeah.
All right. Well, we're going to find out who Mel Kiper has in the mock draft coming up in about 15 seconds. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with Mel Kiper's mock draft on the Woodward Sports Network.
An ounce at Michigan dispensaries is over $300. Why pay that when you can grow your own? With just one light, you can pull down over 48 ounces every harvest. Do that math and then come see us at Grow Green, where we have everything you need to start growing and a staff of master growers to help guide you. Click growgreenmi.com.
Welcome back to the Morning Woodward Show right here on the Woodward Sports Network. We've been talking about Mel Kiper's Mock Draft 3.0, and it's now time for the Lions. And I wish my sound bar was working right now, but this computer's acting a little funky, so no drum roll. But who do you think the Lions are taking? Because, thank you, Joey. Because now that we're sitting here, Penny's available. You got Joey just mentioned him. Devontae Smith is available. And if you think about it, you think about adding a great offensive lineman to what the Lions have going on right now with their linemen, that could be a very good option. So what are you guys doing? Who are you taking?
I know who he has us taking, but I know who I'm taking if this draft plays out the way it does. I'm taking Penei Sewell.
Yes.
Easy.
Really?
If he's up, if he falls down to number 7, they would be such fools to pass up on him. Just that simple.
Dude, he was number 2, maybe number 3 on everybody's mock draft a month ago.
Yeah.
Everybody's.
Oh, and he's by far the number 1 non-skill position player on the board. So if he's available, you guys are taking him over a wide receiver. Because, I mean, that's the debate, and that's the position the Lions would be in. And it honestly puts them in a position to where they can trade down from there, too, because you're starting to get into the situation where you're winning no matter what now.
Yeah. I would draft him or try to trade down maybe back a couple of picks and see if, might be able to catch him 2 or 3 picks later or something like that.
Right.
Because none of these wide receivers, outside of, like I said, just in my opinion, outside of a Pitts, I like Waddle, I like Devontae Smith, I like Jamar Chase. But if a guy like Sewell falls to 7, you need to protect Jared Goff. That right now is the guy that you've invested your next couple of years in. If you protect Jared Goff and Jared Goff pans out, everything else works out. It sets up everything else. Now you don't have to go out in free agency and spend big money on an offensive lineman in the future. You got a guy who is projected to be a generational talent at that position.
It really sets the Lions on a completely different trajectory if they take a lineman there, if Sewell falls to us right there. Because, like I said, you look at our line, we still have Taylor Decker, we still have Ragnow, who's turned out to be an incredible Pro Bowler, and then you add another third great lineman to that mix. All of a sudden, we have a top 5, top 10 line, and what's the big thing that everybody's been saying about Goff being, you can't compare him to Stafford because he's had such a better team, such better linemen, such better run game. Well, now we're giving Goff what he's had before to succeed. So, to me, that is the play if it's there. And you don't have to panic. You don't have to get your quarterback this year. And then if you get your quarterback next year, you already have your offensive line in place, so you're not just throwing some young kid to the wolves like we discussed with Joe Burrow.
See, but that's the thing. You guys mentioned you got to protect him, and you say that we got 2 good linemen already. So, yes, protecting him is obviously always the number 1 thing in football. But he also needs some receivers to throw to. So this is one where, honestly, I won't be mad if it goes either way. And initially, I was like, no, I don't want to, because we still had, maybe we keep Galladay, maybe we have all these other receivers, but now we don't have them.
I think more to it also about just protecting the quarterback. They need a line for that run game. They need some guys that can be some real blockers out there. The getting the lineman sets up everything for that whole offense. So
it's funny to think about because I wasn't even considering him being that far down.
Yeah, it's just like I thought he was going to be gone by then.
Right.
So I just, out of all the drafts or all the talks that we've had, it's just in my mind Bengals going to take Sewell. I just really didn't think anything else other than it. The fact that he can actually fall to Detroit.
You guys are smart GMs.
Thanks, man.
I'm just a fun GM.
Yeah, you just want Devontae Smith.
I just want to watch Devontae Smith out there. Listen, I don't care if our quarterback gets sacked or all this pressure. Right. I don't think that far in advance. I just want to see Devontae Smith out there balling out. But
I want the toys.
The right move to do is definitely take Penei Sewell.
Yeah, so Devontae Smith, how would you feel, though, if they took Devontae Smith? You good with that?
He kind of reminds me of, like, frame-wise, and I want to look to see sizing. Donovan Peoples-Jones.
I think Peoples-Jones is bigger.
Peoples-Jones is
He's
big.
He's like 6'4", man.
Yeah, Peoples-Jones is not a small guy.
Yeah, he's a big dude. He didn't look like it when he played at Michigan, though.
He didn't look like it, but in person, he's bigger in person than he looks on TV screen.
Right.
Trust me on that.
Nah, dude, it's 6'2" versus 6'1".
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No, but I'm talking about just like he's
212. Devontae Smith is 175.
Yeah, I was about to say like height there. I'm about to say height there might be close, but build
40 pounds.
Jones, yeah, Peoples-Jones is a big dude in person.
40 pounds difference.
That's crazy. I did not know that.
Yeah. 176 running around out there, man. That's a recipe for getting murked. Like, this dude.
But
He's got to put on weight in the offseason.
He played at Alabama, so it's like he's taking some hits against big boys in practice and whatnot, and playing in that division he played in.
Yeah, it's just, man, that is tiny. 6'1", 176. That is tiny, man. No wonder he's so fast. Let's move on from Devontae Smith. Next pick. This would be number 8 overall, Jalen Waddle. And this is, of course, once again, where Miami is trading down to. So, getting to us some more weapons. Obviously, somebody he's already played with in college.
I like it. If he is healthy, he is just like he makes defenders scared because his speed is if you fear it.
Right.
He can cut that corner. He's out. I think he would be, if he wasn't injured, I think he would be might be higher than Smith.
Yeah, that's the one thing I always look forward when I'm like doing. I know this sounds like dorky and stuff, but when I'm doing my dynasty league, research about who I'm going to draft, because you draft them in our league and you get them for 5 years. One of the things I'm always looking for when I'm scouting players is if they can pull away from other fast guys. And when you see plays like that, it's like, man, this kid is by far a superior athlete, because that was against Auburn too. It's not like Auburn's running out a bunch of slow dudes in their secondary. Like if you're getting fast guys to miss angles on you, it really shows that you're ready for the next level.
He puts me in the mind of Steve Smith. They're as far as height, they're an inch apart, weight 10 pounds apart. Steve Smith played his highest weight was like 195. Waddle's like 183, so they're not too far away. And I think Waddle's going to put some more weight on by the time he gets to the NFL. So he reminds me of a Steve Smith type. And if healthy, who knows? Maybe he could be like that.
And that's what's crazy, because you compare him to him, and they're probably like an inch or two away, because they were both small guys. Tiny guy. Like, you look at the height difference on that.
He's taller than Steve Smith.
Is he?
Yeah.
Yeah, Steve Smith's only like 5'9".
Yeah, 5'9".
Yeah, because I was going to say he's like 5. Jalen Waddle's like 5'10".
Yeah.
Yep. Then we're moving on to number 9. That's when they have Sewell going there. Number 9 overall. It's like, damn. So that's why I'm thinking that's where we need to drop down to if we could still get him. Look at this guy. Boof. Take that.
See, but then think about it this way. You trade down.
Boom.
Then you're missing out on possibly these receivers, and someone will scoop up Panay. You never know.
I'm okay with that, because like we just said, if he's there at 7, we're celebrating. So if he's there at 9, I'm popping bottles.
Hell yeah.
This is the
Hell
guy we
yeah.
want on the team, because like I said, it just totally changes the trajectory of where the Lions are going. Like, it cements our offensive line for the next 4 or 5 years, and then we can build around that with DeAndre Swift and turn that into like the main focus of the team, because we know Goff is probably the best in the last 2 years off play action, according to stats. And if we can give him that same play action offense, we got our quarterback.
Exactly.
So, no sense in moving on there. And then number 10, he's been at number 10. I mean, this is pretty much like Patrick Surtain going to the Cowboys is like Trevor Lawrence going to the Jaguars. Like, this is written in stone in every single mock draft.
I've seen him in the jersey already, actually. In my head. It's the only jersey.
It's such a Jerry Jones pick, but the thing is, it works. It's exactly what the Cowboys need, and it is kind of funny. Like, everybody else has all moved around, but 1 in 10. Nope, they're set in stone.
Those are your bookends right there. Just 1 in 10. That's how we've started and finished every top 10 mock draft that we've covered.
Was this all necessary in that warm up that he just had to do?
Oh yeah, the underwear Olympics, baby.
Why you got to keep?
That's how you jump high.
What do you mean you jump high? How do you jump higher that way?
Dude, you don't think these guys train for this and have like a specific method?
This is going to make a difference?
Play that back real quick, Alex. Let's break this down.
Just stretch. Come on, man.
Yeah, because you're trying to get the tip of your fingers, like, you know.
Listen, you're that athletic. You could jump high.
Stretching his arms.
6 times?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now he's stretching his fingers. Look at that's what you got to do. See, he's getting his momentum.
If I do that or not, I'm jumping 4 inches off the ground.
We'll try it. We'll see if that makes you jump higher after the show today.
I get like 12 inches higher.
All of a sudden, Joey can dunk when he does magic hands.
I've never done that before. Hit close to the top.
What?
Dunk?
Yeah, but no, not. It's crazy. I can hit close to the top on that thing, but I cannot dunk.
What's the height on that thing?
I
Is
don't
it
know.
over 10 feet?
Because they used to have it down at Ford Field during Lions games.
Oh, nice. I always love that. And then you go throw your arm out on the pitching cage to see how fast you can throw.
And then you shoot hoops at the Pistons game.
Yeah. Then you realize you can't throw as fast as you used to. And the kid that walks up that's 12 fucking chucks it at 78 miles an hour. And you come in at like 72. And you just walk away with your head down because you're 6'4" and 40 and can't throw as hard as a 12-year-old anymore.
Happens.
It happens to the best. Not me, but it's happened.
Shit, I could never throw that fast ever. The ball might go 20 miles an hour.
We got to give a shout out to Levels Provisioning Center. They are in Ferndale and they're about to open up next month. Cannot wait to share this experience with you. They put out a video yesterday on their Instagram, and literally people around here were like, "Is that a jewelry store or a dispensary?" That's how clean, that's how beautiful, and that's how good their product is going to be inside Levels. So make sure you follow them on Instagram. See, I said follow right, guys. At Enjoy Levels. It's at Enjoy Levels on Instagram. Hop over there right now. Shoot them a follow, and we'll be right back. And when we come back, we're getting close to. Oh no, it's Joey's news. We're running late on Joey's news.
Oh yeah.
So we'll do Joey's news coming up next.
I'm looking to bring on another HVAC tech right now.
We're recruiting 5 to 10 techs a month.
We're looking to grow and expand. Every new tech we hire is from Northwestern Tech.
The hands-on training is fantastic.
They're always my first call.
We love hiring Northwestern Tech grads.
They come out trained and ready to work.
Our program is only 10 and a half months, and our next classes are starting soon. So why wait?
I'm looking to hire
a graduate of Northwestern Tech. Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Good morning, everyone.
Read all about it.
Let's get into Joey's news.
Let's go.
Let's just start with the Detroit Red Wings. It's been a bad couple of days, back-to-back, with 2 shutouts yesterday against Nashville, 2-0, and then on Saturday we had a shutout, 3-0 against the Stars.
Not good.
Not good at all. But what is good is number 6 Michigan Wolverines women's basketball team advancing to the first Sweet 16 ever.
That's awesome.
I didn't know ever. That's crazy. It's their celebration, making history right there. So both Michigan basketball teams in the Sweet 16.
That's so cool. It's cool for that program just in general.
Heck yeah.
What? I'm just thinking, do we get Michigan teams winning the national championship?
Has that happened?
Oh my God!
I'm sure it's happened, but has
I mean,
no.
UConn girls.
UConn did it, but not Michigan.
Wow, that's impressive right there. So yeah, we'll see. And they're playing number 2 Baylor over the weekend on Saturday. So we're number 6, Baylor's number 2. So we will see the outcome of that, and then we go over to the other Michigan Wolverine basketball squad. And you saw it on our Twitter yesterday of Coach Juwan Howard on TNT dropping a shit bomb, and you're supposed to call it an S bomb, but you got to love what he said on this. Watch.
Go after it. You know, nothing is given to you, and that's real shit. Excuse my language, but it is what it is. And so with that, I have to try myself.
And what was cut off of that? And what was cut off on that was, this is why you have to love Juwan Howard, because he was just saying, my grandmother instilled it in me that nothing is given, and that's real shit.
It is real shit.
Gotta respect grandma.
That's that Chicago coming out of him. I know a few people that know Juwan, and they like, Juwan on paper, he's a nice guy. I mean, he's generally around a really good guy, but they're like, hey, Juwan from the hood. So he's like, he puts up a good front, but he said Juwan is from the hood, and that's where you heard Shaq said, hey, that's the Juwan I know and love.
Right.
So they know that there's the professional Juwan, and there's that other side.
Can we talk about the internet connection they're providing them in Indy, though? Like, play that video back and go to the part with Shaq and go to the part with Juwan Howard at the end. Like, I was watching this, and I was, because we have people on here, and sometimes we're like, man, our image looks so bad when they call in. And then you go and you're watching TNT, you're watching the NCAA tournament, and this is the kind of resolution that they're getting. Like, look at that difference right there. What is Juwan calling on?
He's calling on. He's probably on either. I don't even think it's a webcam. He's probably calling on the actual camera screen that's embedded in the computer. And it's weird. You would think that they give those guys in those situations the best type of equipment to do those interviews.
Right.
Nope.
Well, from what we've learned about the NCAA over the past week, they're not supplying everybody with the best shit down there.
No, they are not.
Men, women, coaches. None of y'all getting it. As long as if you're in the NCAA exec, hey, maybe. But everybody else, nope.
They're tossing them like 8-year-old laptops and being like, make it work. Go ahead. Have fun.
Dude, you're getting a deal.
Let's keep it on March Madness talk real quick, and I got a question for you guys. Take a guess. Who is the newest star who's kind of a famed March Madness person? So it could be a player. It could be someone from the organization that is now on Cameo for $150. You could get a video from them.
A March Madness guy?
So that guy, just anyone from March Madness. Like, who's talked about in March Madness?
Sister Jean.
Sister Jean.
Hey!
$150, which will all be donated to charities. Okay.
Doing the Lord's work.
Hey, what if she was just pocketing it?
Oh, hell yeah, she is. Loyola's taking some of that cash for sure.
if she pocket, you know what? Let me shut up.
You go.
I was about to go there.
You can't go off on another.
You know what? Hey, look, I'm gonna do it. If she's pocketing the money, she would not be different than any other crooked preacher.
Oh, damn.
Facts, though. Facts.
I'm not gonna deny it.
Wow.
What do you think? You think we could get Sister Jean to do one for us, saying Woodward Sports, let's go?
See, but like, listen, I don't want to say I don't want that, but it's Loyola Chicago. It got nothing to do with us. It would be
I
cool.
know, but it's Sister Jean, man.
Yeah, I know. It would be cool.
We seen Sister Jean pray, and we saw what happened to Illinois when she prayed. So she might pray, and something might happen to Michigan. I'm good.
Maybe we do this. Just get a prayer for Michigan from her. She wouldn't do it.
No,
she wouldn't.
No.
She wouldn't.
Not
do
while
it.
Loyola's still alive.
Not while, yeah.
Like once they're out of the tournament, maybe.
So this is great news to me. Let me know your thoughts on this. The Washington football team might make that their permanent name, guys.
I'm here for it. I'm here for
Corey?
it, man.
I'm doing the 180. I was there for it, but then when we did the segment, when we started going over the potential names and then the logos, I'm like, all right, yeah, they got to get his team a name. I did a 180. At first I was for it, like, yeah, the Washington football team, just make them stand out. But man, even just from a business standpoint, NFL can make so much money off of the new logo and the new merchandise. So even from a business standpoint, I think it would be smart for them to do it.
Like it's almost too easy for them.
Yeah,
like,
it's a layup.
Here's all this money. If you guys want to take it, no, we're cool. Let's keep this name.
You think they give a damn? We just saw him sign a contract with TV for $111 billion. You think they want that jersey money that they're going to get anyways?
Dude, that's a lot of money.
What do you think that matters? All rich people want to get more rich.
I get they want to get more rich, but I don't think that like we need to make money off this brand change.
I promise you, there is never enough money for even the richest guys.
Stay with the Washington football team. It's the best troll job in the world. It's an amazing name, and it is what you are. Like it's just that is what you are. You have to be the Washington football team.
Washington needs a name. Here's my reasoning
what
now.
Though?
They give them something. You know who doesn't need a name? The Lions. They should be the Detroit football team until they win a Super Bowl.
I think every team should switch their name to their city and football team.
Earn your nickname until they're the football team.
Their city and football team. That's it. Like we're gonna go over to soccer. Like we'll all just be clubs. The Detroit Football Club, and I love it.
Yeah, honestly, I mean you gotta love it.
I think Detroit FC might have a problem with that. But
well, maybe, right.
But give them a name. But the Lions, take away the line. Dude, yeah, do that. Switch it like that. Give the Washington football team a name, and then make the Lions a Detroit football team, and make the Detroit football team earn a nickname. They got to win win a playoff game, and you get to choose your nickname. Boom.
No, here's a better idea. We do it like the Joker in Dark Knight. We put the Lions and we put the Washington in the same room, and then we put a nickname in the middle, and they got to fight it out for the nickname.
Whoever wins,
whoever wins gets the nickname.
Okay.
I'm with it.
You think they'll do that?
Hell no.
No.
But I honestly, I like the Washington football team. Like I
love it.
I think it flows.
Yes.
It's funny when I read it. I always confuse it with WTF. It just cracks me up. I know Maz from The Hook hates it. Like he was on Twitter last night, like, no, this can't be. And it's like, yes, of course. Keep this name. It's fun. And I'm a smart ass, so I love the troll job. That it's like, all right, we can't be this, we can't be this, we can't be this. Fine. Bitch about the football team.
And that's just 2021 summed up right there. It's like, all right, you're going to bitch about even our name of our team? Like, come on.
Well, footballs are made out of leather, which is made out of cows, and you're killing animals, so I hate football teams.
Yep.
That's the line they're going to draw.
They did have to change the name, though. They did have to change the name.
I get it. Like, listen, honestly, there's so much history behind a lot of these team
But
names and whatnot that we don't know about.
That's where I do agree. They should have changed the name, but they should have already had something in place when they were going to go ahead and do that change.
I kind of liked it better though, because like then it's like, wait, what are they going to call it? The football team. Wait, for real, the football team?
Right.
Okay, I like this.
Just having the football team with no replacement seemed like it was lazy.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and it's not like the Redskins was a new issue. Like they've had plenty of time to figure out this problem before they made it.
Plenty of time.
Like, I mean, I've been hearing it since like I was young that they need to change the nickname. You know, you hear about when the Braves do their tomahawk chop and all that stuff. Like, all that stuff needs to go. And you've been hearing it for years, so they should have been prepared. But the best they could come up with, Washington football team.
Hopefully the Cleveland baseball team, they figure it out, because I know they're changing from the Indians. So
yeah.
Hopefully they don't do what the Washington football team is doing.
So one that we're going to be talking about a lot today is going to be Deshaun Watson, and the lawyer has responded to lawsuits. 16 now filed. And if we go back just a week ago, Corey, you told us 1, 2, oh boy, 3 is probably serious.
Three is something. 3 is something there, but now it's up to I believe as high as 14. And are we about to go into it right now?
No, we're going to talk about it a little bit more.
I got a few thoughts on that.
Yeah, and then his lawyer, Rusty Harding, comes out and said in a statement that his law firm has strong evidence, quote unquote, showing that one of the lawsuits alleging sexual assault is false, and that it calls into question the legitimacy of the other cases as well. So they're still fighting on this, and there is some other stuff that we're going to talk about later on this one.
I mean, we can kind of touch on it now if you want, since we're already talking about it. Like the 16th civil suit has come forward against Deshaun Watson. They released a statement, like you said, saying that, hey, we have proof showing that these allegations were false. They say that one of these girls wanted $30,000 cash from Deshaun Watson before any of this came to fruition. So it's been a whole thing, man. And, you know, it's crazy how it's unfolded after we started talking about it a couple weeks ago, but this is really, really taken off. And, you know, Deshaun Watson, the lawyer that's prosecuting him, put up a statement on Facebook the other day, or yesterday. It was only actually a couple hours ago, and this is what it said. It said, alleged sexual misconduct is serious. Attempting to criminalize or minimize those that speak out or step forward is wrong. I've been asked to respond to a release statement by Mr. Watson's counsel. My first reaction is that there have been so many massage sessions from Instagram that Mr. Watson can't keep track or recall. On Twitter, initially criticized me and denied everything. I can't tell you how many people have stepped forward to report similar conduct or provide information. That info will be released again in public filings, not in the media. My second reaction is a question. Why would this marketing agent admit Watson had sex for pay with massage therapists, consensual or otherwise? We will also provide a copy of the non-disclosure agreement that Deshaun Watson and his marketing manager repeatedly insisted that Jane Doe and others sign for some time before the quote massage session, which she refused to sign. I do appreciate Mr. Harden's professionalism and his words of support for the victims, but would respectfully suggest that there are many facts here that we will put in public filings that Mr. Harden might not be aware of. We will provide additional details in a statement consistent with our ethical obligations due course, and hope we can do so by Friday. So by Friday, we're going to have some new information on this, and I mean, it's getting sticky, man. Like, I honestly don't know what to think, except Deshaun Watson's career is probably over.
He has, you know, this is very, very ugly for him. I'm not even gonna lie. It's a very bad look. And like I said, you know, last week, 1, okay, might be lying. 2, okay, they might be co-conspirating. 3, okay, there's some smoke here. But now we're up to like 14, 15, 16. The one thing that I would, and also I don't know what to think. I really don't know what to think. But all of these are civil cases, and I know that, you know, the burden of proof on a civil case and a criminal case is a lot different, but all of them being civil suits and everybody going straight for that settlement, it's just interesting to me, and I want to see more. I want to see this evidence that comes out. The one thing that I would say that I don't like is, first off, anybody who sexually assaults a woman or does that type of crime, they don't need to be talked about in a positive light. I'm not going to talk about Deshaun Watson in a positive or negative light until that more information comes out. But the one thing that I'll say that I don't like about this, I just wish that the lawyer would just kind of just stick to the merit of, hey, we have these strong cases against him, we have this strong information against him, and we're going to go ahead and put it out there. Some of the commentary that he added in there is kind of trying to condemn him in the court of public opinion and make him look guilty before they even reveal the facts. Because once those facts gets revealed and they got him dead to rights, hey, buddy, I can't do nothing for you. It's right there. But don't try to and this goes for anybody. Don't try to ruin their reputation just off of some words. Just do it with the facts.
Real talk, though, on a situation like this, how do you know when we can get these facts?
I don't think this is what makes it very strange, and it's going to be so tough to prove this because there's no video cameras in massage parlors.
No.
You know, all they do have is, I guess, the Instagram messages, and I do think it's weird that he would make them sign a non-disclosure, but is that more to do with because he's a celebrity? And, like, I don't know. I'm not at that level to where I would make a masseuse sign a non-disclosure to rub on me, but I'm not Deshaun Watson.
I will say this. Just off of what I've done in my, taking photos and being a photographer, athletes have you sign non-disclosure agreements for everything.
Okay, so it's not unheard of.
Yeah,
even on celebrity artists is a big one too, because when you hop on their tour buses, you got to put the phones on the side. You got to sign this non-disclosure.
Okay. So it's anytime you're dealing with somebody in that space, they always make you sign a non-disclosure agreement. At least that's how it's been. At least how it's been for me. I'm doing something as simple as a in-home photo shoot. Hey,
right.
All right, there it is. So that might be not because he was doing something bad, but that could be a reason because you know whatever. But
this, to your point though about the whole civil lawsuit, this Busby dude, like, he keeps always mentioning it's not about money, it's not about money, it's not about money, contact me here, it's not about money, contact me here, this.
Drop me a line.
So it's like,
if you suffer from mesothelioma,
I want to say this the correct way.
You want to sympathize with them, but we don't know the facts.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, I don't want to be like, oh, these chicks are lying, because I see a lot of my friends like, these chicks are lying. I'm like, you know what? I don't want to say that. I just want to see the facts, because the way that Busby is going about the case is disturbing for me. I have not seen these type of cases go the way that he's going after. He's going strictly to try to condemn him in court of public opinion, as opposed to like, hey, these are what we have. This is why he's guilty.
Right.
That's what I'm waiting for.
Or just the art of shutting the hell up till you have the full case and then present it.
He just keeps on, we're going to present it on this day. We're going to present it on this day. Just give us the damn facts when you are able to give them to us. Quit trying to get us to hate the guy before we, because if he did it, we're already going to dislike him.
Right.
That's just how this is, though. I mean, especially when you factor in, and I don't want to get to this because it's away from the point, but it's such a big part underlying to this whole story is Busby is a neighbor to the owner of the Texans. So you put that into effect into this conversation.
It makes it look fishy.
It makes it look fishy. He's posting all this on his personal social media. He's just trying to grow his account. It's like there's so many things that it's just blatantly obvious at this point. Just give us the facts when we know the facts.
Also, too, this whole situation also kind of reminds me of the Ben Roethlisberger thing. Because remember, Ben Roethlisberger, he didn't have as many alleged assault.
And his were in like public spaces. Like he broke into stalls and assaulted girls.
Yeah, and the thing is, he settled for the first one. The second one, they couldn't prove it, so the charges were dismissed. But he still ended up facing a 4-game suspension from the NFL because of that. So what I'm thinking is that Deshaun Watson, I don't know. I want to wait to see what the facts are coming out. But just from what we know, I'm assuming that one of them he might probably potentially settle with, and then the rest they might be able to kind of like, I don't want to say the rest, but several of them they might be able to debunk, or is just not being as what they were because they can't prove it. Right. Like I said, I don't know that until everything comes out.
Well, we're gonna find out. Yeah, Friday, we're gonna find out. Right. We got more stuff coming on Friday.
Now,
so
what if you don't find out on Friday? What if it gets kicked down the can?
He won't. This guy
has to.
He's setting the appointment and he's delivering. Like that's kind of the game plan that we've been seeing out of him. Let's do this. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, we have Adam's bets of the night, and we'll get into those so we can make you some money coming up on Woodward Sports Network.
Hey, it's Joey from Woodward Sports, and I am here in downtown Fenton at Bridge Street Exchange. This place has so many amazing things for guys and ladies. This is the hidden spot that you got to come check out. I'm talking Thoroughgood boots, best boots ever. They have barware. They got the Stormy Cromer hats. They got Carhartt hats, a huge Carhartt selection. They even got Snoop Dogg underwear. So go check them out, bridgestreetexchange.com, and use the code word WSN for 15% off.
Welcome back to the Morning Woodward Show, Detroit's all-digital sports network, the Woodward Sports Network. My name is Stick. Well, every time, normally about 8:50 we bring Adam up, but we wanted to get into that Deshaun Watson conversation because Joey mentioned it into his news. But on to happier things, right?
Yeah, why not? I like being happy.
Yeah, we all like being happy. So, Adam, what do you got for tonight? What games you looking at? Why do you got the games you're picking? And how's this all going to play out, man?
Well, to recap last night, we went 3-2, but Washington Wizards obviously let us down, but we missed out on the point spread by 2 points.
Ouch.
So, a super unnecessary ending to the Nuggets Magic game, but I'll move on. But
I tell you, the game you got definitely right was that Pelicans game.
Mm-hmm.
My God, did they beat the shit out of the Lakers?
Look, if you're betting anytime from now till LeBron or AD comes back, whichever one comes back in the lineup, if you see the spread around 6 points and it's a relatively good team or good roster, you take that line. If it's a bad team and they're like favored by 6, 7, avoid it. Have the Lakers covering against any team really that has under 12, 13 wins right now.
I mean, that could have been a 40-point game last night. Like, that's how bad the Lakers look.
And
it makes me so happy.
If you watch the 76ers-Warriors game, that first period was embarrassing for the Warriors. They made it a game really by the third period, and then they couldn't keep up anymore.
Yeah.
But, we'll move on today.
Yeah, what you got for today, buddy?
I can't help it, man. Well, first, we're going to start with hockey. I got 2 games that I really, really want to bet on in hockey tonight. The Calgary Flames against the Ottawa Senators. The Ottawa Senators are one of the worst teams in the NHL. You really want to put them in the Red Wings category of how bad they are currently. To get the Calgary Flames, who are actually a playoff team, and the playoff roster at -180 is a super friendly line. I love that, and I'm taking the line. I think the Calgary Flames will win, and again, I love the odds on it. -180, it's actually not that bad. The next game, you know this. Anytime you see 5.5 and you feel confident in the 2 teams that are playing, I'm taking the over. Last night we missed on our over-under, unfortunately, but it was only by 1 goal. They just can't score empty nets, man. I don't understand.
Dude,
it's
even
not hard.
When I was at the Wings game, Anthony Mantha had a wide open one, missed it. I was like, come on.
Dude, it's an empty net. Come on. Just fucking score it. But anyways, we're not going to get frustrated. We're going to move on. I got basketball for the rest of the night. I think the Timberwolves covered tonight against the Mavericks. The Mavericks have been in some super close games lately. Actually, in their last 8 games, they've been decided by no fewer than 8 points.
Okay.
So those games are relatively decided pretty close. I think the Mavericks win. I just don't think they they coast past the Timberwolves.
What
tonight.
about Luka getting a triple-double tonight?
I'll think about it.
You think about that?
I've bet it twice now. Obviously, I made the $300 bet initially, and I missed by one fucking assist.
One assist. Ouch.
And the second time I bet it, it wasn't even anywhere close. And I was like, you know what? I need to take a break from betting triple-doubles. I'm not feeling it right now. I'll think about it tonight. I'll think about it. I'll post it in our group.
All right.
If I do decide to. And then the Chicago Bulls to cover the 5.5 point spread against the Cavaliers. Again, Cavaliers are one of the teams I love betting against. I think the Bulls have a much better roster. I think the Cavaliers are just a shit team, shit organization, and a shit city. So, having said that, I think the Bulls cover 5.5 points. It's actually pretty friendly. And then the upset of the night.
Oh, boy.
I know. I love this Hornets team, but no LaMelo Ball. He's actually the second rated on the team in their plus-minus. He's a huge impact player. In my opinion, he was a top 25 player before he got hurt in the league. 16, 6, and 6. But that doesn't matter right now. We're betting on Houston at plus 140 to win tonight. They're going to avoid back-to-back losses after breaking their 20-game losing streak.
Listen, this team is on fire right now. 1-21. 1-20 in the last 21 games.
They're on a streak, baby.
That's right. Play the hot hand. But that's my upset of the night. I think the Rockets pull one off tonight.
Okay.
If you decide to parlay it, $5, $10, $50. I'm putting 50 on this tonight. I'm actually very confident. I usually don't. I usually put $5, $10, but today I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. $50 wins you 13-10. I really like. There's only one game I'm nervous about, if I'm honest, and that's the fucking Rockets. But outside of that, these 4 games that I've picked, the lines are super friendly. They're very attainable. You put $10, $15 on each game, you're going to be happy. You put $10, $15 on all the games last night and Monday, you'd be happy. We're 6-4 so far this week. We're going to try to avoid losing 2 games. We're going to try to hit them all. Worst case, 4-1.
Well, your record's looking pretty damn good. 90-48 so far.
65%.
Since we started this.
Yeah.
So keep it up, man. And if you want some more information on that, make sure you follow us on all social media. Adam posts that up, posts the graphic up, so you know exactly who you should be picking tonight. And if you want to do it, make sure you do it at mybookie.com. That is the place you need to go to get all your bets in. The prop bets that we were talking about, maybe a triple-double for Luka, you can bet it there. Prop bets, they got tons of prop bets, which to me are a lot of fun to put into games. And you can do the live game betting too. So go to mybookie.com today. Enter promo code Woodward so that way they'll hook you up with 50% of your first deposit. And then you got free money to play with too. So listen to Adam, get those picks, get that money, and go to mybookie.com. We got to take a quick break. When we come back, it's Wednesday, Joey. What's that mean?
Coney.
Coney review. We're going to do that next on the Woodward Sports Network.
Welcome to Crumble Cookies. It is Joey from Woodward Sports, and this is my new favorite spot where I like to spend my time because they have the best cookies I've ever had in my entire life, and you won't regret coming here and trying them. Located off of Rochester Road, right next to the Imagine Theaters in Rochester Hills, it's Crumble Cookies. Come try these delicious cookies. They even got their own app. They got curbside pickup. They got delivery. You won't regret it. Just come try for yourself. You'll thank me later. I promise.
Welcome back to the Morning Woodward Show right here on the Woodward Sports Network, Detroit's all-digital sports network. My name is Stick, and every Wednesday, Joey and I go out and we do a Coney review. Fish, you got something to say about the Coney review already? What's up, man?
Yeah, I don't know if you heard Terry Foster on Monday. You were probably going to the Coney shop when he said this, but he said the 2 assholes Stick and Joey go get Coneys, and do we get any? Hell no.
Yeah, well, it's not our job to feed Terry Foster.
And it's not, see, it's the same asshole that complains about me not bringing him back cookies that's actually defending this. You see that, Fish?
Because I've never had a crumble cookie. They've had Coneys. That's the difference, man. I just want to try one. We'll start bringing them back Coneys. I didn't know it was all in their feelings like that. But sorry, Terry.
Just bring me back a salad, chicken salad.
See, look, now we're about to rack up like a $200 bill.
This is exactly why we don't get involved in this.
You know what? You don't got to treat me. I'll give you the money.
Well,
we got you, Corey, but the
Corey,
rest of those guys.
You ain't on here bitching about us not bringing you Coneys.
It started when they were talking about Easter, and Baligian was like, oh, I'm going to have ribs, and Terry Foster's like, oh, you're teasing us, brother. I'm going to have ribs, and I'm going to have a brisket.
Talk about food?
You don't give us any food, and then he brought up, you guys don't bring us food, and then Baligian said, Maz brings out a huge pizza and doesn't give him any, so it came up.
I mean, like, I don't really want to go here, but me and Joey aren't the type to be walking around with full large pizzas all the time, too.
Nah.
Like, we're a little different build.
Yeah. Shout out to Mass. He does give me a slice, though, every once in a while.
Hell yeah. I mean, pizza's delicious. I eat it every Sunday, but I just don't walk around with large pizzas in Birmingham all day. But what we do is we go around and we look
for...
doo-doo. Oh, my God. We go around and we look for Conies around Metro Detroit, and this is like our 9th Coney review now.
Yep.
And we've gone to, let's see, like 4 of them have said they use national chili. And that's kind of been the trend of a lot of Conies in the Metro Detroit area. So, you know what we decided to do?
Let's go to the source.
Go to the source. We decided to go to National Coney Island in Roseville because that is where they originated. So here's our Coney review this week of National. All right, we're back at it again. Another Coney review. This time we had to go to it. Every place that we mentioned, National Coney, so we got to go to the real deal, right, Joey?
This is the source. So a lot of Coney Islands in Metro Detroit use national chili, so why not go to the source?
And here we are, National Coney Island in Roseville, Gratiot in 696, world famous, can't beat it. Let's see what the East Side got to offer. So, Joey, 1965, the first National Coney Island was at Macomb Mall. It's at 20 people. Obviously, this place is a little bit bigger, and they got about 20 locations around Metro Detroit and the state now. So let's do it, man.
The dogs are here.
The dogs are here. Let's try it out. You want to take this one?
I'll take this one.
You can already tell they moisten the bun.
That's my favorite.
Yeah.
I love the moist bun.
All right, wiener touch.
Wow, this is a heavy dog.
It is a heavy dog.
Wow, this is damn good for real.
Mm-hmm. It's like one of those when you imagine how a Coney should taste.
Yeah.
This is exactly like it should.
I ain't gonna lie, I always thought that these Conies at these kind of places weren't that great. There was no love in them, but this is for real the original.
Honestly, the only thing it's missing is that snap.
Yeah.
It's been tough to find that snap.
But the chili here, like all the places that use national chili, I feel like it's like honestly better here. It's weird.
But like the onions, like the bun. Could be a little softer bun, but still good. I'm a new fan of the mustard underneath since we went to Waltz, but what are you thinking? What's your score, man?
I'm going to say, off of obviously 313, because that's how we rate these, I'm going to go probably like a 285 on this one.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, like 290. Like this is, you can tell why everybody mocks this chili.
Seriously.
Delicious.
This is amazing chili.
And it tastes better when you're in Roseville. All right, Joey, so we went to the original. Everybody uses national chili, and I think we know why now.
We exactly know why. I was at 280.
Yep, and I'm right there at 290.
I was at 285.
Either way, one of the highest scores that we ever did. I mean, 313, the perfect score so far has gone to American, but this is like second or third highest on our list right now.
Honestly, everything besides the wiener snap was there. Obviously, the chili was great.
Yeah, chili perfect. Hearty, meaty, spicy, loved it all.
It had a nice little kick to it, it really did.
Yeah, so National Coney Island, Roseville, this is where they started, 1965. It's a great store here, so come see them, try some Conies. Where should we go next?
That's how you roll up.
The ending was the best. I didn't even see her. It's like a 90-year-old woman and like 50-year-old men on a golf cart.
Dude, when we rolled up and saw that golf cart in the parking lot, it's like, damn, because that's right on 696 and Gratiot, so it's not.
So what road did you drive that on?
Like, did you literally cruise down Gratiot in your golf cart? Because if you did, you are amazing, sir. But overall, man, National Coney Island knocked it out the park.
And that, like, in there, like, such a beautiful and just original Detroit Coney Island feel that you get in that restaurant.
Right. So I know, like, when we go to a lot of places, like, we got National Chili, a lot of times we're like, ugh. But it seemed like National Chili tastes better at National.
And usually that's how it should be.
Right.
Because sometimes these Coney Islands just, they take the easy way out of it, lazy with the way they make it. But National, you feel that love of National Coney Island's chili.
Yep, and the fries were delicious too. So next time we'll go, we'll bring enough back for everybody, including Maz, including Sean Baligian. We'll try to find a vegan dog for Joik. We'll make sure we got Art's gluten allergy taken care of. It's like having kids around here.
Hey,
man.
you guys don't have to take care of Joik. He's not here on Mondays.
Oh, nice. Okay, well there we go. We don't have to worry about the vegan in our little crew here.
You ever eat a Coney dog fish?
I have not.
You've never had a Coney?
I've not.
Okay.
What the fuck is going on?
He hasn't had Coney. He hasn't seen strippers. Hasn't had a taste of liquor. What are we doing here?
So we're eating Coney's at the strip club next Monday. Done.
Well, count me out.
Well, all right. Well, that was our review of National Coney. So we just want to give them a shout out. And Joey, you wanted to shout out Northwestern Tech.
Yeah, Northwestern Tech, man, just such a great spot for you to start your career, because Northwestern Tech, you hear so many success stories going through their program, and it's only a 10.5-month hands-on HVAC program. So learn more for yourself right now at northwesterntech.edu.
And it's such a good program. Like you said, it's only 10.5 months. You get in, you get out, and you got yourself a good career that's happening. So we got to show a lot of love to Northwestern Tech. Let's do this. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, somebody put up an awesome Twitter poll yesterday on our at Woodward Sports account, and we want to go over the results. It's all about what Piston moment would you change if you could? And we got some good ones, too. We'll talk about it next on the Woodward Sports Network.
You don't fumble the ball at work. Hey, Joik Bell, Sean Baligian. See you guys next weekend.
Thanks, Mike.
Oh, Bell's soft. Wait till it comes to New Zealand. Pour that out.
Welcome back to the Morning Woodward Show right here on the Woodward Sports Network. My name is Stick, and so over the weekend, or actually yesterday, somebody put up a Twitter poll on our Twitter, obviously, because that's where you put Twitter polls. And the question was all about what you would change for the Detroit Pistons if you could, like any play from the past. And this thing blew up. We got like 600, 700 votes on this. And the four options were, Alex, can you throw up the four options on the screen real quick? These were the four options, plus some other people commented other options. So if you could change one event in Detroit Pistons history, what would it be? Is it draft Carmelo Anthony? Is it Grant Hill stays healthy? Is it the Phantom Foul in 1988? And if you don't remember that, that was on Bill Laimbeer. Or the Kobe trade happens.
This is such a good one, too, because you look at this and it's like, damn, which one really hits you the most? And for me, I got to go back to 2003 with the second overall pick. The Pistons select Darko Milicic, some random 7-foot Serbian. And that was the one where I was like, initially, okay, I'll take some tall 7-footer, but then you look at who we overpass on that. Carmelo, Chris Bosh, D. Wade.
There he is.
D. Wade, once again. D. Wade.
Oh, God, it breaks my heart. And I was excited about this pick. I got to be honest. I bought and drank the Kool-Aid when they drafted Darko.
Yep.
Like, I thought for sure that he's our future. And, they called him the left-handed Kevin Garnett. And, he started at 14 in Serbia. And he's going to be the next Dirk Nowitzki. And it was all there for us. It was all right there for us. And then we were like, yeah, sorry, Chris Bosh. Sorry, Dwayne Wade. Sorry, Carmelo Anthony. We're going with this guy.
Okay. I had a problem with this list for a few reasons.
Okay.
For one, the Grant Hill injury should not be on there. I believe the Grant Hill injury should not be on there because Grant Hill was on his way out the door when he suffered that injury.
Right.
He was out of here. He was not coming back to Detroit. So in that series, in that year, I believe they got knocked out in the first round by the Miami Heat in his last year here. They were not going to do anything in the playoffs that year, even with a healthy Grant. I don't think they were going to go anywhere. The one that should have been up there instead of the Grant Hill one is Rasheed Wallace covering Robert Horry in Game 5 of the 2005 NBA Finals. That should be on there instead of the Grant Hill one. The reason is, if Rasheed Wallace goes ahead and does not let Big Shot Bob hit that three, the Pistons are going to go back to back. They're gonna go back to San Antonio up 3-2.
Is this the hardest one for you to watch, Corey?
You see, I kind of turned my head a little bit because I have not watched it. I'm not gonna look at it because I have not watched this game since it happened.
Really?
I real talk. I can't watch the play. I haven't watched the game because that is my lowest sports moment as a fan. Because I knew it was over. I knew they were not going to go to San Antonio and win 2. I felt they could win 1, so I knew they were going to go ahead and win Game 6, but I didn't think they were going to win 6 and 7. I felt that if they went up to San Antonio up 3-2, they would have won either Game 6 or Game 7, not winning both of those back-to-back.
Yeah, I mean, that was such a tough moment, and, you know, it's tough, too, because it's Sheed, man. It's Sheed, like our best defender. It's Sheed making that mistake.
Guard the inbound, man. I mean, if there's any, Sheed knows better too. You do not leave Robert Horry open. He may not be the greatest player ever. He might not even be in your top 150. But when it comes down to hitting that shot in those moments, you do not leave that man open. He is a sniper, and that was back to back. We talk about in our, at least for my age group, I didn't get to see the Bad Boys Pistons, go back to back. I was alive for it, but I can't remember that. I was like 3 or 4 when they went back to back. I would have been alive to see back to back Pistons teams win the title. They should have won it. They should have won it.
Yeah, can we see that one more time, Alex, just for Corey's sake?
Y'all can look at it. I'm not going to look at it. I can't watch it. Today is already an emotional day for me as well. I cannot watch this, though.
I'm sorry, Corey.
No.
He went, I mean, the idea was right. Go trap Ginobili in the corner, but Ginobili just getting rid of that ball and getting it to Robert Horry. Oh, God, that shot changed history.
We all expect Ginobili to pull up or someone else.
And you know what was worse? What was worse about that was what followed it. The ugliest one-hand dunk ever, and that was also by Robert Horry, where he just dunked on all of the Pistons. It was just like he didn't even really how players go down, they just jam it. It's like he was almost like Superman, like he leaned in.
Slow motion.
Yeah.
So that is one that we got a lot of tweets about, too. It was like, hey, well, how come the Robert Horry one isn't there? And let's run through some of these other tweets that we got. The Horry shot in the 05 finals, end of discussion. Yeah, and he's right, man. He's right. What are some other tweets that we have? Bird doesn't steal the ball. That is another one, it'll steal my bird.
That is one.
Oh, I hate that dude's voice. I hate it.
That is one. That is the one that sticks in my father's cap. Like that is the one where he can't watch that.
Johnson, layup, Boston, 1 second left.
Ugh. God.
I think if I was alive to see that might be my number one.
The way he says it,
so
awful.
Burn. Like that guy. First of all, the announcer for Boston absolutely hated the Pistons back then, and then he hated us even more when we whooped that ass the next year. What's up, Fish?
Do you know who the commentator is?
Who is it?
Oh, I was kind of asking you.
Oh, no, I don't.
Oh, well, he's my favorite guy. I know you guys hate him. He sounds great, so I like him.
Oh, you like the Boston guy?
Is that who it is, the Boston guy?
Yeah.
Maybe I hate him.
Okay, yeah, good. I like how we can convert you that fast. Maybe I hate him.
That was very easy.
But yeah, that was a big moment. And then we've already talked about it. The phantom foul. This is, to me. Now, I know what people say. We could have had 3 titles. That is true. JD Sports tweeted that to us, and that is true. But it's tough to predict those things, because if this was at the end of the back-to-back and this would have given us the 3rd, then yes, it definitely cost us. But if we get that first title, we may never get the other 2.
Yeah, so that I get your point on that one. But
Like, how is that a fucking foul? How?
I mean, in 2021 NBA basketball, yes, that's a foul
No,
all day, I'm
no
sure.
basketball on any planet
These refs
and
are
anywhere.
soft as hell these days.
That was the softest foul call. And you know what? Our buddy Anson, who was doing the Lions pregame shows with me when the Lions were playing, David Stern had a picture of that in his office. In his office. Why of all plays would he have that play in his office?
Because the money they get from the Lakers winning.
But play that one more time, please, Alex, if you can.
To a spot, man.
Huh?
You just took me to a spot. I'm not gonna say nothing bad about the dead, though.
Oh, why?
He said, why?
We can talk about the dead. Go ahead. What do you got to say, Corey?
David Stern has done a lot of questionable. As much as he's done to help globalize the game, which I really think was the players, he's done so many questionable things as a commissioner of the NBA. And just now hearing that he has that picture in his office, and I wasn't even able to really alive to understand that moment. I don't like him even more now.
That's just so crazy. Of all moments in NBA history, like that's the still you choose to put up in your office, the like most controversial call in any finals ever, because that literally gave the Lakers that championship.
I mean, hey. Controversy follows David Stern. I mean, remember, basketball reasons.
Basketball reasons. And then another, vote on this. We don't really have any. This didn't happen, but it almost happened. Kobe was almost a Piston.
I'm Kobe Bryant is my favorite basketball player of all time. And as you all know, I'm a diehard Pistons fan. My second basketball team is the Lakers, but I'm going to be honest. I would not have liked Kobe in the Pistons uniform.
Really?
During that time, I felt that if Joe Dumars did right, there was a dynasty right there. I think they would have given up too many pieces for Kobe, and it's hit or miss on whether he would have been. He was already Kobe Bryant because he got the 3 titles, but it would have been hit or miss whether he would have been the Black Mamba, reached that Black Mamba status in Detroit.
That's the thing. You look back at it because, I mean, at that point, it would have been some big trade assets that we would have had to give up. So we do get Kobe, and then all of a sudden we don't really have much to support him at the time, probably.
Because I think they would have been trading They would have been trading Tay, Rip, and I think Tayshaun.
No, it was Rip Hamilton, Tayshaun Prince, Amir Johnson, and a first-round pick.
Pretty much the whole squad.
Y'all say what you want, but this is 07 too.
Yeah,
so that means on the squad you'd still have Chauncey, you'd still have Sheed, you'd still have Ben. Like this was
Ben and Kobe together.
Oh, Chauncey and Kobe together.
Chauncey and Kobe together would have been.
That'd be nasty.
Filthy.
That's why I also think that David Stern or Dan Gilbert's really the one who bitched about it and got David Stern to do the basketball reasons. The last thing you needed Kobe Bryant to have was a competent point guard. Something he's really Derek Fisher, he's good, but
serviceable.
Yeah. But Kobe has never had a point guard because as much as people said he was a ball hog, he was the Lakers' primary passer. Like he said, I was the guy getting the ball to Shaq.
See, but how do you think that would have played out with the Pistons? Because he is a ball hog. We all know Kobe's a ball hog.
I think he's a ball hog because he had to be like.
He's just a ball hog.
He didn't have a point guard because look, remember when the trade happened with the Lakers where they got Chris Paul. Chris Paul talked about. He said him and Kobe were on the phone when the trade happened, just like excited, like. When they got because Kobe like, okay, I can just be me and I don't have to worry because Chris Paul knows what to do with the ball. I don't have to worry about that. Now I can just go out and play my game. Then when the trade got vetoed, you saw Kobe and Chris Paul's both reaction like, all right, because Kobe said Chris Paul texted him like after the trade got vetoed like, what the.
So I think I want to tie this into another moment because we already talked about the Darko thing. So let's just revisionist history because that's what we're doing here anyways. Mm-hmm. The Pistons draft Carmelo, right? Let's just say they draft Carmelo. So in 07, you still trade away Rip, you still trade away Tayshaun, Amir, and that first-round pick, and your starting lineup looks like Chauncey, Kobe, Carmelo, Sheed, Ben.
Okay, here's the thing.
Eastern All-Star team.
It might be just Kobe and Carmelo and Rip because Kobe, Carmelo, and Billups, because people forget this one part about the Sheed trade. Sheed came in that championship season. Sheed came near the trade deadline. They didn't start with him, so you never know whether that Sheed trade still happens if they draft Carmelo. That's the one thing about that. I was always of the mindset of that the Pistons should not have drafted Carmelo. I felt that for where the team was at that point, the Pistons should have drafted Chris Bosh because they needed a power forward. So that way, starting that 03-04 season, the starting lineup would have been Ben Wallace, Chris Bosh, Tayshaun Prince, Rip Hamilton, Chauncey Billups. I think if they would have drafted Bosh, that might have been the nasty team to move for, because people remember the Chris Bosh that went to the Miami Heat and was like he was like, like a 17-8 guy. He pulled his game back. Toronto Chris Bosh was 24, 25, and 10.
It's the same thing with Kevin Love. When Kevin Love was alone in Minnesota, dude was a 30, 10, and 10 guy almost every night. Then he went and he's like, all right, I'll get my ring and I'll play my role, but I'm only going to get like 14 points a game now.
Do you think that's all something to say about LeBron? Playing with LeBron pulls you back?
Absolutely, because I think on the Pistons, outside, you don't take, regardless of who they take, you take Carmelo, you take Bosh, you take Wade. Any of those guys with the nucleus that the Pistons had, they're gonna eventually become great. When you get around a guy like LeBron, you have to suppress your game to play with him. Chris Bosh had to sacrifice his game. Kevin Love had to sacrifice his game. Only person I think that didn't have to sacrifice his game so far playing with LeBron is Anthony Davis, because LeBron needs Anthony Davis to be Anthony Davis for him to get these rings in the later stage of his career.
Yeah, and he just plays such a completely different role.
Yeah, way different. All these other players are kind of a somewhat similar
LeBron
style.
can do what everybody else can do.
Yep.
He can't do what Anthony Davis does. Like, you can't teach height. And that's it. He can score like him in the paint. He can dribble better than him, but he can't be Anthony Davis. Yeah. And that's why that relationship has worked out so well.
Can we just talk about the year, though, that draft class was? Like, what a freaking draft class this was.
And for us to swing and miss.
Right on top of that.
Otis Thorpe could have gotten us Dwayne Wade. Think about that. Otis Thorpe.
Yeah, screw Carmelo. I would have taken D. Wade.
To me, Wade is the answer of that whole equation. Like, because forget the Kobe conversation that we're having right now, but if you bring Dwayne Wade on that team as the bench player and your starting guard rotation is Chauncey, Rip, and D. Wade off the bench, you're good. You have the best front court in the league or back court in the league for how long? I mean, at least 6 years there, right? Because Chauncey was still relevant. Rip was still good. Rip kind of faded before everybody else, but I think part of Rip fading was getting rid of Chauncey.
Yeah, when they got rid of Chauncey, I remember how this played down. Chauncey re-signed his deal. Rip re-signed his deal. Then they got rid of Chauncey. Rip said he knew that they were going to get rid of Chauncey, he wouldn't have re-signed. And I get it, because that was his backcourt. That was his guy. That was his backcourt mate. And I don't know if I agree with taking D. Wade, but I think we all agree on the same page. They shouldn't have took Darko.
No.
Regardless of who you,
is there anybody in this world?
Anybody you plug, any of those other three we talked about, you plug in there. Pistons are Gucci moving forward.
Not even Darko's happy that they took Darko at number 2. Like, honestly, his life has been completely weird. Like, he's a farmer in Serbia right now.
But also, too, and then you know what? I'm glad I just thought about this right now. Who's to say Carmelo, D. Wade, or Bosh would have been who they are? Because one thing we remember, Larry Brown don't play rookies.
Nope. But
they would probably have to force his hand to play rookies. And you saw what Larry Brown did when he got all three of them in the Olympic team. They got a bronze.
Yeah, I understand that Larry Brown doesn't play rookies, and that was just kind of his thing. But I don't like. We saw they didn't play Darko. We still won the championship. So, like, to me, that rookie didn't matter that year. It was the years
he just
after.
He just would have stifled their careers.
Nah, I don't think so, man. Honestly, I don't think so. Like, you don't have to get minutes if you're on a championship team. You can sit there and learn from Chauncey and learn from Rip. And if you're good enough, push them in practice and then crack the starting rotation. Because you saw with Tayshaun, he got Tayshaun, second year into Tayshaun's career?
For the starter.
Yeah, as a starter.
He got Tayshaun in the second year in his career because Tayshaun was a rookie that with the Rick Carlisle, and then he ended up getting that time and during that playoffs.
Yeah, he got the starting nod over Michael Curry against the Magic to shut down T-Mac. But you saw, I mean, Tayshaun was a relatively young player, and he didn't hold him back that much. Tayshaun was a part of the starting lineup. So maybe that year in 2004, it detriments D-Wade or Bosh, but the years after that, we're all flourishing. Like, we're still talking about how this team's a dynasty.
Hey, one thing we can't deny, though, Darko got a ring.
He did get a ring?
Before all of them, which is hilarious.
Before everybody. Before LeBron, before Wade. Yeah. I wonder if he still has his ring or if he sold it. Because a lot of guys like that don't play, they sell their rings.
Fat money, too, on those.
I know Matt Barnes, he got a ring from being on that 2017 Warriors team, and he didn't even want it. Because he said that he got injured, and he said he didn't feel like he earned it. So they end up giving it to him. They end up pretty much making him take it, but he said he doesn't still consider himself a champion. So who knows? Darko might be the same way.
Yeah. Who was it that didn't? Oh, Chucky Atkins. They gave Chucky Atkins a championship ring in 2004 too.
Chucky.
Yeah, Chucky.
Oh yeah, because after you play so many amount of time with the team,
it's half the season. Yep, he played a little over half the season. That's when we got Sheed. He was part of. We had to move him out, and so he got a ring. And God, that just be.
How would you feel? Would you feel like it's cheap? Would you feel good about that being considered champion?
I wouldn't feel a part of it. Yeah. Actually, we had a similar situation when we were working in radio together. Like when another radio station flipped formats and went out. Like I was a part of beating that radio station for 4 years.
Yeah.
And then I got let go, and then that radio station flipped formats 2 months later. And my old program director gave me a shirt that he gave all the staff that you guys have, and I didn't even feel a part of it. It's like, no, man, you were there when you slayed the dragon. I wasn't even on the roster. So, yeah, I appreciate the gesture, but I wasn't there when we killed the beast, so I'm not going to take credit for it.
When in there popping the champagne bottles.
Nope, it wasn't on me. It was on everybody else. So
you better believe I'm taking that ring.
Yeah.
I could be the water boy. Where's my ring at?
It's funny, a buddy of mine, he used to do ticket sales for the Tigers. And when the Tigers made the ALCS, they bought even the people doing sales ALCS rings. Now, they weren't the big diamond up ones, but they were similar to that, just more, pressed.
More of a replica version.
In that aspect, I'm wearing that boy.
Right.
Because I know
you sold the tickets.
Yeah, I mean, I know the space. I understand the space that I'm like, hey, I hope.
Yeah.
I did my job in that part, so yeah, I'm taking it.
It's like getting a class ring versus getting the state championship ring that's got the actual diamonds on it and whatnot.
It's funny, Zago has this ring, and it's for he sold $200,000 worth of carpet when he was a salesman.
Oh, that's awesome.
And he wears it, and people think it's a championship ring.
Oh, is that sweet?
Oh, it's that gaudy. I don't know if it's that sweet, but it's that big to where we'll be at restaurants, people come up like, oh, who did you play for? And he's like, no, it's from sales, bro. Relax.
Yeah, my cousin's state championship ring is pretty big. It's football when Brother Rice beat Hudsonville.
There you go.
My brother was on that team.
Oh, wow. Yeah. We talked about,
yeah.
Well, let's do this. Joey, you want to shout out Bridge Street?
Yes, I do, because Bridge Street is the spot to go check out. And you always hear us talking about local businesses, and that's just something that I've been so big on. I mean, I've been trying to stay away from the mall to support these local businesses, so I always wear Carhartt. I always wear a whole bunch of different products that they do sell at Bridge Street Exchange. So go there and check them out for yourself. You will not regret it. So go to bridgestreetexchange.com if you're lazy. And you can do it right now on your phone. Or you could drive out there to Fenton and check them out for yourself. Use the code word WSN for 15% off your entire order.
What's up, Corey? You got something?
Got some news for everybody.
Uh-oh.
I know a lot of people wanted the reunion to come back in Detroit. And I hate to say it, it's not going to happen. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are finalizing a one-year deal to re-sign Ndamukong Suh. He's going back. The deal is going to be around $9 million plus incentives.
Good for him.
Well, there goes that dream. Yeah. He'll come here in 3 years when he's worthless.
Or they'll go back to back and he'll make Detroit his first stop again after winning the Super Bowl.
That's all right, man. I love Ndamukong Suh. Yeah. Let's take a quick break though. When we come back, we got Joey's news. I mean, we're inside Grow Green right now, and they have everything. I'm talking, you got your active air fans, you got your big lights over there, big pots, little pots, and Joey, what are you doing right now? Get some sun. That's not what those lights are for.
Feels nice.
Go to Grow Green MI today to get all your growing needs and a tan.
Good morning, everyone.
Extra, extra, read all about it.
Let's get into Joey's news.
Let's go.
All the talk has been about Michigan, the men's basketball team, making it back to the Sweet 16 for the 4th year in a row. But we got to clap it up for the number 6 Michigan women's basketball team. I didn't know this. This is the first Sweet 16 appearance that they've ever had.
That's crazy.
So this is them celebrating, and both Michigan basketball teams in the Sweet 16, and this is excited. The ladies going to be taking on number 2 Baylor.
I'm just so disappointed in Michigan State. I mean, we had a chance to potentially have both of those teams somehow face each other, and I know we could have with Michigan in the men's tournament. I believe the Michigan State they got kicked out real quick. I don't know, man. I'm just disappointed in Michigan State. We could have had Wolverines time too.
I love how Michigan is playing in both Sweet 16s, and we're still talking about, man, Michigan State. They really screwed up. They really
that
messed up.
rivalry.
It could have been just something just great to talk about instead of just having just one. Well, now we got 2 teams to talk about. We could have had 4 teams.
Hey, we get Juwan Howard to talk about because he has some great things to say yesterday on TNT.
Nothing is given to you, and that's real shit. Excuse my language, but it is what it is. And so, with that,
that's what Juwan I know and love. That's what Juwan I know and love.
Yeah. And so.
Just like Shaq said, that's the guy that you know and love.
That's the Juwan I know and love. That was great, man.
It's seriously, like, you got to love Juwan Howard out there saying, my grandmother instilled it in me that nothing is given, and that's real shit.
Hey, he from Chicago. He got that hood came up out of him. I love it. More of it.
Yeah, I mean, everybody seemed to be pretty receptive to it. And it was funny because I was sitting there just watching it, the interview's on in the background, and all of a sudden I hear him say that, and I'm like, man, what are they talking about? And I rewind, and, it's a great point that he's making. Like, my grandma instilled this in me, and, I'm sure grandma maybe said those words to him too.
I'm sure she has. This is the craziest news of the day, is a new member now on Cameo.com by the name of Sister Jean.
Yeah, Sister Jean.
For only $150, you could get a custom video from Sister Jean.
Is Cameo or OnlyFans?
Yeah, it's Cameo, unfortunately.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, she's not on OnlyFans yet.
All right, it's coming next.
It's coming soon. Washington football team could be the team's permanent name. I like it.
I say stick with it, man. I like the name too. I think they did a great job trolling the entire country, and I love it.
I changed my mind on it. They got to go with a nickname. They need to go ahead and make those jersey sales, those ticket revenue. They're going to get so much more money if they get if they change the name.
Yep,
for sure. They're going to cash out. And the last one I got is just a random ass story that I have to talk about is shrimp tails were found in a box of Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Along with dental floss, and they're thinking that a rat got in the cereal bag on this one. Look how disgusting that looks. And
what do you mean a rat got in the cereal bag on this one?
I don't know. I mean, maybe he didn't notice, like, the bag was already open, or who really knows? And that
came from the manufacturer.
Yeah.
It's coated just like the Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
I listen, I have no clue. This all happened. Some LA podcaster by the name of Jensen Karp, who we all hate. You know why we hate this guy?
You know who he's married to? Is that why?
That's why.
Yeah.
We hate him for that reason. He's married to Topanga.
Remember Topanga from Boy Meets World? Thick as hell.
I gotta go.
Was that your first crush, Corey?
Yeah.
Well, really, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
He says, I'm bad.
I'm out of here.
I'm glad I hope he ate those shrimp
But you know what's crazy?
Well, not died. That was a
my best friend favors Topanga.
Oh, like looks like her?
Yeah,
okay.
It's
I want to meet your best friend.
Yeah, tell her to come by the studio anytime, Corey. I mean, what are we doing here? Have you guys ever found anything random in like a box of cereal or anything like that?
Just the shitty toys they give you. I have never had any good toys in my cereal box.
You ever reached into anything or like found anything weird in your food?
Nothing crazy.
Yeah, me neither. Thank God. I mean, like at restaurants and stuff, the random hair and whatnot.
What do? You send it back or just take it out?
Depends.
My man, it depends what it's like a gray hair.
It honestly depends, because a lot of times I'm like, that's probably mine. You know, like, and then I don't want to be the guy trying to get free food over a fake hair. So,
Right.
so yeah, man. I hate when that happens, though, when you find, like, you're just sitting down to a good meal, it comes, it looks so good, and then all of a sudden you're just like,
it just keeps going.
I think it's worse. You know what? When it comes that way, I actually prefer it like that as opposed to when I'm halfway through the meal.
Oh,
then
yeah.
I
I
notice
was
something.
like, yeah, I prefer my food with a little piece of hair on there.
yeah, when you get halfway through it and there's like half a Band-Aid, and you're like,
I'm like,
"Ah."
Ooh, half a Band-Aid.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'm out of here.
If you ever found anything weird in your food, drop it in the comments. We want to know about it, because it just happened. And I don't know, cinnamon shrimp, not really my thing.
Cinnamon toast shrimp.
Cinnamon toast shrimp. Well, let's do this. Let's take a quick break, and when we come back, we got a dog here for you to see, because Detroit Dog Rescue comes in every Wednesday, and we get some dogs adopted in the local Detroit area. So we got a puppy here, and we're going to show him off coming up next.
I'm looking to bring on another HVAC tech right now.
We are recruiting 5 to 10 techs a month.
We're looking to grow and expand. Every new tech we hire is from Northwestern Tech.
The hands-on training is fantastic.
They're always my first call.
We love hiring Northwestern Tech grads.
They come out trained and ready to work.
Our program is only 10.5 months, and our next classes are starting soon. So why wait?
I'm looking to hire
Hire a graduate of Northwestern Tech. Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Welcome back to the Morning Woodward Show on the Woodward Sports Network. We got a new co-host right now. This is Kirk. He is available for adoption at DetroitDogRescue.com. He is a very calm, very chill puppy sitting here. He's got a nice shaved belly on
He got
him.
them blue eyes, too. Look at that.
Yeah, it's a handsome dog.
It's a cutie right there. What up, Big Kirk? Welcome to the studio.
And if you're new to the show, the reason why we do this is Detroit Dog Rescue is such a big influence in Detroit and across the state of Michigan. You guys team up with Bissell, the vacuum company, and Kathy Bissell does a great job rescuing dogs. Then you guys do a great job finding them homes. And not only that, y'all go into the craziest places in Detroit and come out with these little dogs. And I don't know how you do it every day, but thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah. So this little guy, he's available right now, right?
Yep, that's Kirk. He's our like a lab houndy mix. He's about 9 weeks old. He has 3 other siblings that are also up for adoption.
And how'd you find Kirk? What's his
He
story?
was a owner surrendered to us.
Aw.
Yeah.
Does he have any brothers or sisters?
He has 1 sister and 2 brothers.
1 sister and 2 brothers.
Yeah.
And he is available for adoption right now, and it's awesome. Here you go, Joey.
This honestly is the best part of the week, because not only do we have Coney dogs on Wednesdays, but we also got cute little puppies like our boy Kirk right here. And like, how do you see this right now? And you know, you might have been thinking about going to buy a dog, and you go to these dog stores. This is the company, and not the company, I mean, this is the organization that you guys have to support, because Detroit Dog Rescue, I mean, we have them on the show every single week. They do such amazing things for the city of Detroit and give cute dogs like this new amazing homes. And these dogs, they honestly live the best lives ever after they go through the Detroit Dog Rescue,
Right,
and that's
yeah.
what I love.
Corey's mom picked one up. I picked mine up from the Detroit Dog Rescue. So if you know somebody that's looking for a dog, make sure they go to DetroitDogRescue.com right now. And you got profiles built. They can swipe through them like it's Tinder.
Yeah, just like that.
It's puppy Tinder. It's amazing. And the really cool thing about this is for just $5, if you want to donate to them, $5 will feed this guy for an entire week. And they make that money stretch, and they don't ask for much. And if you want to donate supplies, you can do that too. How's Christina doing?
That was cute.
She's doing good. She's recovering. I'm making sure she's sleeping as much as she can.
Yeah, so normally Christina comes in.
Yeah.
She's like kind of the director of the
Yep.
Detroit Dog Rescue, but she took a fall down some stairs.
Yeah, she smacked her head.
Oof, and it was pretty gruesome and pretty bad. She
Yeah.
said she was kind of knocked out. But we're wishing her the best, and we're trying to get these dogs ready to go and get them out for Christina while she's sick. So thank you guys so much for coming in.
Thank you.
We appreciate you every Wednesday. DetroitDogRescue.com. Go get my man Kirk and his little pot belly. Little pot belly. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, the NCAA is meeting with the women. So that's going to be interesting. We'll talk about that next.
Hey, it's Joey from Woodward Sports, and I am here in downtown Fenton at Bridge Street Exchange. This place has so many amazing things for guys. And ladies, this is the hidden spot that you got to come check out. I'm talking thorough good boots, best boots ever. They have barware, They got the Stormy Cromer hats. They got Carhartt hats, a huge Carhartt selection. They even got Snoop Dogg underwear. So go check them out, bridgestreetexchange.com, and use the code word WSN for 15% off.
Close now.
Welcome back to the Morning Woodward Show right here on the Woodward Sports Network, Detroit's all-digital sports network. My name is Stick, and don't forget, this Friday, Grow Green has a clone trade going on in Whitmore Lake at their location. You could go out there, and if you want some new strands in your garden, just make sure you head there with your clones, and you could trade with other local growers. So if you want a little bit of Bubba, you can get a little Bubba. You want, some Skittles, you can get some Skittles. Whatever, they have all different types of strands from reputable growers, and you will get the right genetics into your room. So that's happening Friday from 1 to 5 p.m. Make sure you go to Grow Green in Whitmore Lake and visit them at growgreenmi.com today. And while you're out there, mention Woodward Sports, and they'll hook you up with a free T-shirt. So that is awesome of Grow Green. Now, the NCAA. We talked about it earlier in the week, how the women did not get the same treatment as the men as far as facilities, food, gym, just general treatment. We saw poor Juwan Howard with archaic internet that he had to use to be on a TV show yesterday. But now the NCAA is planning on meeting with a group of young athletes. But there's a little bit of discrepancy going on even early in this process because the NCAA wants to have a sit-down with one or two people. The NCAA students are pushing for like a 30-person sit-down. Either way, what are you thinking, Corey?
I have no thoughts.
You have no thoughts?
Corey hates the NCAA right now.
They're like a corrupt organization. It's just like, okay, what are you gonna meet and talk about? Just talk about how trash you are. Talk about what you're gonna mess up on and drop the ball on and be reactive instead of proactive next. I'm curious to see or hear what comes of this summit, so to speak.
Okay.
Is this something that they ever do? Do they ever meet with the athletes like that one-on-one and have these conversations? Because, I mean, who better to learn for? Because I feel like what I like about this is normally they just have these meetings, what I envision, of just a whole bunch of fat dudes that just care about themselves and don't really care about the betterment of these athletes. Now you at least get some athletes to get face in front of them, which is that step forward. And Corey, I know you always say it's reactive, not proactive, but that's the truth of the nature we're in right now. And I'm happy that they're at least taking that step forward now to really see what they can do for these students.
Yeah, I mean, Livers obviously has been very vocal about not NCAA property, and he wants to be a part of the meeting. Some of the women want to be a part of the meeting. So I don't always think having a massive amount of people in meetings when decisions are being made is always the best thing moving forward. But if they want those 30 people in the room and they put like 2 or 3 up front to have the conversation and speak on behalf, I think then progress will happen.
I think when you have like that many people, it's too many chefs in the kitchen.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And I have to do a little bit more research, but I wouldn't say that I believe they should have something where they have like liaison, somebody that can go in there and, maybe 2 or 3 people to speak on behalf of whatever everybody's thinking. But hopefully, instead of just being all crapping on the NCAA, hopefully after something positive comes from this meeting where they can go ahead and start changing their image, doing the right thing by all of the players moving forward. And that's just it. Just be good people. Stop having to stop putting yourself in this position where you gotta do things right instead of doing things right after the fact, and after people light your ass up instead of doing things right initially. Because we've seen that they recover greatly. They do what they're supposed to do eventually, but it's only when they're pressured, and that's kind of weak.
Right. I've been in the camp of, listen, these kids don't need to get paid. Like, the universities give them enough. Like, the male sports, provide all the funding for all the other sports, including other male sports that don't make money. Like, football and basketball are really the only 2 money makers, and men's football and basketball are the only 2 money makers in NCAA, really, when you break down how much money is coming into each program. But I saw somebody made a great point, and To me, you got to make it make sense to me for me to buy in. And somebody made the point of, listen, if somebody comes here on a music scholarship, they're still allowed to go play gigs. If somebody comes here on an academic scholarship, they're still allowed to go tutor kids and use their academia to make money on the side. But if you're a football player, you're not allowed to use your football status to, like, make money. And to me, that was the first argument I've ever really heard that's like, you know what? That makes more sense on the fairness to me more than anything, any other argument that I've ever heard about.
Because you're on the scholarship and you're able to go make money off of your talents on these other places. But because these athletes are bringing in money to the university instead of those music, scholarship, hey, you know what? Nah, you got to make the money for us. We can't get paid.
Right.
Come on.
Yeah, so if you're in college and, you have a music scholarship and you put out an album, the album goes platinum, you're still allowed to collect that money.
Here's my thing. Whether people are split on the athletes should get paid or not, everybody has an opinion. What I think should be like non-negotiable, and what I've heard from some college athletes, if you're a college athlete, you should not be complaining about meals. Like, they should have adequate meals. And I've heard some stories where they don't get them. And I believe at least at bare minimum, they should at least be able to have a nice amount of meals covered.
Yeah, you would think nutrition for athletes would kind of be high on the priority list.
Yeah, so, money or not, whatever, at least get them fed.
Right. My whole argument to this is, this kind of switched because the first they ever talked about this, it was about them using this to get endorsements, using their likeness and image to get endorsements. And that's all something that these athletes make, establish, and deserve themselves. But when you're talking about them just simply getting paid to play, that's where I'm like, no. The school's doing what they're doing by giving them that opportunity to have a free scholarship, to play for free, give them free room and board and rent and the food and everything that they offer them. But it's on that athlete to then go and further create that brand for themselves that we always talk about on this show. That brand is what they should be able to sell.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like, you shouldn't just get paid hourly to be a lineman that may never see the field. Like, I get it. You're already getting a free education, so that is kind of over the top. So I'm with you on that. If you can monetize yourself, go for it. But don't rely on the university to hand you a paycheck.
The hard part to this, though, is, like, I know that this is going to get into so many issues of, like, oh, well, our university can't be affiliated with that brand that you're trying to work with, and this is just going to lead to a lot of issues. They've opened up this can, and the worms are getting out.
Well, they are meeting, so we'll see what the results of the meeting are. Hopefully there's some progression in this. There usually is. It's just sometimes it doesn't go as far as some people want, and we'll find out what the NCAA does. But I'm glad they're at least owning their horrible decisions that they've made, and they're going to at least address them. Just wish, like Corey said, they could get out in front of these things. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, it is time for Fish's Facts.
You don't fumble the ball at work. Hey, Drake Bell, Sean Baligian. See you guys next weekend.
Thanks, Mike. Oh, Bell's soft. Wait till it comes to New Zealand. Pour that out.
Is it time? Yeah, it is. Fish!
Go fish. Fish Facts.
It's fish!
It is now time for Mr. Fish and his facts. Intern Fish comes on and he tells us about random things from all around the world, plus some local stories. Fish, what do you got today for us, buddy?
It is a sad day here. It's Sean Baligian's last day.
Not last day.
Last day for a week.
There you go.
He's going on vacation,
Thank you.
Fish.
He's going on vacation.
Sandbagging son of a bitch.
Or as Terry Foster wants to say, a week, a month, a year. Who knows?
Who knows with Sean?
Speaking of Terry Foster, he'll be in tomorrow. And watch the Baligian Bell show today, because if it's anything like yesterday, today will be a fun one. Baligian was singing. Art loved it. He'll probably love it again when he starts singing.
Do you promo our show as hard as you're promoting their show on ours right now?
Well, I don't really get airtime like this on the other shows.
Oh.
So
you
that should be a compliment, by the way.
It is. I just wish you'd use it to, like, talk good about us. Like, make sure you're listening to the Morning Wood every morning, because I'm on it. I'm Fish.
I'll do that. Well, no, I'll do it for your show, though. I'll say, listen to Stick in the morning, but they don't bring... anyways. Moving on.
We love you, Fish.
We start off in the NBA. There was basketball last night, and there's always some great stuff that happens in the NBA. We start off with Nikola Jokic doing big things again. He got most triple-doubles on 60-plus field goal percentage in a season since 1983.
Damn.
That would be Magic Johnson.
And Draymond's on there, too.
Draymond's on there, too, yeah. So he has 10 this season. This season, by the way.
I like that.
So it's... I like him. He's really good. I wish we would have got him on the Pistons.
That would have been nice.
That would have been a better big man than... Who do we get again?
When?
2007. You're talking about we got a big man that we should have got...
no,
Anthony or...
Darko.
Darko, yeah.
Oh, man. You're so blessed that you don't know who Darko is.
I do not.
You are blessed.
I'm not. I'm going to look him up, though, and see if he does any good things farming in Serbia. Maybe I'll join him. We move to James Harden, who has been doing really good on the Nets. He got 25 points and 17 assists last night. That's the most assists by a Nets player since 2012. Darren Williams.
Yeah, 17 assists, man. People do not think of James Harden as somebody who passes the ball, but he did last night.
Also, that 17 assists would be 17 turnovers if you play on the Rockets. So
there
it just shows you how crazy it is that you just switch and it happens.
Yep, sometimes change the location, man. That's all you need. See you,
crazy.
Jared Goff. All right, go ahead, Fish. What you got next?
You're going to fight Baligian in that one.
Yeah.
We keep in the NBA one more. We have Tobias Harris. He's in the news. He was an all-star snub. He got 23 points, or has had 23 points. Sixers are 9-1, by the way, since in March.
Nice.
They've had 7 games without Embiid.
All right, and what else you got, Fish?
They're looking very good. This day, it is March 20... I got to look in. March 24. It is March 24th, and on this day, 2018, the Australian cricket team did some shady stuff. They pulled sandpaper out of their pants to try to make the ball swing mid-flight.
All right.
You're allowed to spit on the ball, and you're allowed to swipe the ball across your pants, but you're not allowed to use sandpaper. He was caught on camera. Does he realize it's 2018? They have cameras like there. Does he realize there's cameras?
Right. Man, it's like Kenny Rogers and Smudgegate, baby. Putting that pine tar on that ball.
Yeah, so they got banned for like a year, and they're back. And, not exciting news there. We go to some other sad news. This day last year was when the Olympics got postponed till 2021.
Oh, my God. That's your favorite event, too.
And hopefully it doesn't get postponed again.
Right. All right, Fish, let's get into your bets, man. What do you got?
We have a birthday today. It is Peyton Manning's birthday.
All right. Happy birthday, Peyton.
Did you guys like Peyton Manning?
Yeah, loved him.
Okay, good.
I didn't gotta respect his game, for sure.
I didn't know if there's any stories about Peyton Manning.
No. Typical funny guy.
Alrighty.
He's great on Saturday Night Live.
Adam told me about 5 minutes ago, don't bet on the Red Wings. That was from last night, of course. Well, sorry, I'm going to do it again. I'm going to bet on the Pistons. I'm going to bet on the Pistons to beat the Pacers. One of these days, the Pistons and Red Wings are going to be like the Brooklyn Nets, and they're going to win every single night.
I like it.
Do you know if I actually, I don't know how to say this in a nice way, but I would be broke if I bet on Detroit teams all season. Do you understand? Like, I wouldn't. Yeah,
I'm in Detroit.
I would have been evicted by now, listening to these.
Yeah, but you bet on 15 other games.
Yeah, but I don't use my heart.
A couple, Adam.
It helps to have a backup.
All right, Fish, give me one more bet, and then we got to get to Dumbass of the Day.
That I do not actually bet. That also helps.
That does help. You don't actually lose money.
We have 12 World Cup qualifying games today. World Cup is 2.5 years away. Very exciting. It's in Qatar, however people pronounce it. Qatar, is that how it is?
Yep.
All right.
That's how it is in the streets, buddy.
We have a few of them for you. We'll just run down them. Ireland, they're playing Serbia. That's where he's farming, right? Serbia.
Yep, that's where Darko is farming.
They're actually favoring this one, so I'm going to pick them. I'm going to pick Serbia. I actually might watch this game because of him.
Nice.
Anyways, we have other ones. Let's see. Wales, Belgium today. It's just a bunch of them, so enjoy your World Cup qualifying soccer.
Beautiful. Thank you, Fish. It is now time for Joey's Dumbass of the Day. Corey, we're going to need you back up here for this one, buddy. Go ahead, Joey.
Present the award.
It is Joey.
It is time.
Dumbass.
For the day.
Why would you do that? And the loser is...
Duxbury High School to dismiss their football coach, Dave Merriman. I don't even want to say his name correctly because this guy's just an idiot. So, to catch you up on this story, Massachusetts high schools are playing their football seasons right now after all those games were postponed last fall. And, yeah, this season has been quite the shocker over there in good old Massachusetts because this high school football coach is currently suspended and I'm sure going to be dismissed soon for his team all of these years using anti-Semitic slurs during their play audibles during the game.
Did you hear this, Corey? So we discussed this as a show a couple weeks ago because there's so many idiots that can't understand anti-Semitism, racism, sexism, misogyny, that we're just going to regulate all these guys to dumbass of the day because we were spending a lot of showtime talking about people doing dumb things like this. So this guy, this coach, is having his team, like Peyton Manning, Omaha. He's having them yell Auschwitz. He's having them yell rabbi, and he's having them yell one more, I forget what, dreidel. Those are their audibles that he has them calling. And honestly, if you stuck with dreidel and rabbi, I don't think anybody has an issue with that. Because if I was out there saying monk or priest or something like that, that's not offensive, right?
Auschwitz.
Auschwitz? Like, are you kidding me with that?
All right. I read a lot of stuff, and I'm just trying to wrap this up real quick. In high school, I took Holocaust class, and that was actually a class. I think I got a B+ in it, B+, A-. I think it was B+, but I was very fascinated with the history of it, and I learned all of that stuff, and I'm like, holy crap! So to get to the point, why in the hell would you use Auschwitz as a call? That is just completely. That's just idiotic. That is, you're
dumbass.
And it ain't like a name like a Washington Redskins, for example. Like it ain't something like that you have to dig deep. Like you know what that word means,
right?
So it's just so
idiotic. It's at this point if you just do this stuff, you're just a piece of shit human being. Flat out. It's really
you're coaching kids
really,
to do this too. Like you imagine being the quarterback. Like, coach, I don't want to call Auschwitz on this play. He's like, you call it, Danny, or you're on the fucking bench. And you're just like,
I'm just trying to figure out. You see all of these examples of celebrities or just not even celebrities. All of these stories of people being insensitive and tone deaf, and you continue to do it. Like, just move away from it. If you continue to do this, you're just piece of shit.
Just quit poking the bear. And like we've said this before. I've said this before. Guys, this really isn't that hard. None of this is that hard.
How hard is it to not use a racial slur? How hard is it to not to be sexist? How hard is it to not use a homophobic slur? It's not hard.
I mean, I go every day without doing it. It's really not that taxing. It's not that trying. Like
you don't.
Oh, guys,
so commendable.
Guys, give it up.
Wow.
Give it up. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, yeah, thank you.
Hopefully, it doesn't take him 20 months to be able to get this out of his system.
That's the thing, man.
It won't, because he's going to be sitting at home now, so he's not going to have to coach kids anymore.
But like I said, if he just would have kept it to dreidel, like that's fine. Dreidel. It's like, oh, okay, cool. They're keying in on the defensive end. That's why they're using the D to start. Like you could make, but when you go that route, man,
it's a hard word to even pronounce too.
Complete dumbass, absolute dumbass. So he's going to get hit.
Dumbass. You dumbass.
You dumbass. Thanks for waking up with the Morning Woodward Show this morning. Baligian and Bell is up next at 11 a.m. I got to say rest in peace to a buddy of mine, Modi. Joey, you knew Modi too. I'm going to head to his funeral right after this. So rest in peace, Modi. You were a gentle giant. Everybody loved you. And see you on the other side, my dude.
Man, and while you're on that tip, same point. Today is the 6-year anniversary of my grandma's passing. So that's why I said we were talking about this already a rough day for me as it is. So yeah, prayers to you guys
all
losing
of
your friend.
them. Yeah. All of them.
Yeah, man. Looking out for his son Gabe too right now. So
that's the hardest part. Just all those days of seeing his kid and the relationship that they had. That's always the hardest part about death.
So you guys have a good day. Enjoy life because we're not going to have it forever. And we'll see you tomorrow, 8 a.m.